Oh,
What's
don't
your
start the
word?
bubbly.
No.
Where's my what? My bird?
Oh, I wanted to know what his 3-letter word was.
Oh, I've never had one of those. I don't know what that
Mine's
means.
wow.
Mine's chow.
It's chow and wow. Those are the two?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is each one unique, or is it just like those two
Yeah,
words that it could
they
be?
are.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, let's get started.
Get out the beach! Get out the beach! Hans, get off the beach!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another GeekVerse newscast episode. This is a very special one because I don't know if we've ever had a GeekVerse newscast amongst just these unique individuals, which I'm including myself in that category. But we got myself, Kirklin Patzer, the God Butcher, and who am I sitting here with today?
I am the old ex-girlfriend, Jessica.
And I'm the Adam Hardcaster, Dylan Muss.
Adam Hardcaster, Dylan Musk. But yeah,
I was going to go with some, like the God Killer, but I was 100% sure someone was going to take it. And I came in and no one had it. And I was like,
Well,
ooh,
God
maybe it's
Killer
two on
is
the
free.
head.
He's specifically
God
the
Killer.
God Butcher.
I'm just the butcher. I'm not a killer of anyone. Because butcher
Sorry,
doesn't
sorry.
imply that you're actually killing anyone, right? You're like you could be
Chopping 'em up.
chopping up a dead
Yeah.
body. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
That
good
could be
point.
equally as
Difference.
sus, but I mean, there's no murder involved. But
Okay, well, now I have to Google what the definition of a butcher is. 'Cause
Well, while you're doing
I'm
that,
pretty
maybe
sure
I'll
you're right.
while you're doing that, maybe I'll
Kirkland's
just quickly get some housekeeping out of the way. So you can find us at our homepage, which is GeekVerse.ca. That is links to all of our social medias, including our Twitter, GeekVerseCasts, on Facebook, GeekVerse Podcasts. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that's right. And more importantly, on our Patreon, where you can support us and get all of this awesome content. Ad-free, exclusive, early access. We're putting out retros early on there. Tons of awesome things on there. You get access to special After 9 episodes, which I can actually promote tonight. We have, or it's not happening tonight, but this coming Saturday, what is that date specifically? I should have written this down. So May 28th, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for the help there, Jessica. We are having a special After 9. That is the roast of Taylor Field. I don't even know who all the roasters are because Taylor is kind of keeping that a secret. I feel like partially, because some people might be just dropping out last minute, because that does happen sometimes. Maybe it's legit, maybe it's not legit, but it does happen. So he's keeping the list of roasters, close to his heart. But that one's going to be a very, very exciting time. I think we're all joining for that one. I know I'm definitely going to be there. Dylan, Jessica, are you guys
I'm
going to
be
be
out in the woods. so I
Oh,
will
you're
not
going to be out in
there
the woods. So you're going to be doing some roasting of your own.
Yeah, I'm gonna
hopefully
roast
some
some
roasted marshmallows. But yeah, no, that's going to be lots of fun. So make sure to check that one out. And if you're a Patreon, you could actually come in and join in on the fun. So go check us out on Patreon. Anything else? Oh, yeah, Manscaped. Thanks for the reminder there. My own shirt, Manscaped. Go in there, use the promo code GVPOD, and you'll get yourself 20% off. Store-wide, worldwide shipping. That is free. That is insane. That is awesome. We all love the products, so definitely go check them out. Forgot to bring this up when I was talking about Patreons, but huge thank you to our Patreon producers. That they are at our highest tier. They are the ones that really keep the lights going. So that is Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Carl Ritchie, and Smalley Biggs. So lots of love for those guys and gals. And I think that's everything. Travis is probably going to remind me tomorrow that I definitely forgot something big, but that's okay because he's not here. This is a special episode. So Dylan, you were doing some important Googling before I shift us into, our main topic at hand. But
Well, technically, I don't think murder is necessary. You just have to cut up the remains. But also, it seems like a big part of butchering is that you have to sell the meat that you butcher.
ooh,
So I don't know if
that's big illegal. I
the
think.
villain we're talking about today is specifically going to be selling the meat of the gods that he butchers. So
yeah.
that's quite the. We could go into the theoretics of that, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point because he just has a false name. More likely, like scenario is that he just has the wrong name, but because I don't think he's selling god pieces.
Probably didn't Google it before he chose that
He
name.
probably didn't Google it. That's right.
Space
I think that was the
Google,
main thing. Centuries ago, however long ago it was. Yeah, talking about butchering, god butchering, as my name entails. Our main topic today is there's a new Thor: Love and Thunder trailer that came out just yesterday. And before we're gonna bring up the trailer, we're gonna skim through that as we always do and have lots of fun with that. But just overall thoughts, Jessica, have you seen the first trailer that came out? I think back in April.
I was on the breakdown with you guys.
Many casts here and there. So thanks. Go check out that episode if you want to hear Jessica's thoughts on it. But no,
I'm
Jessica,
on like one episode a week. Come on, Kirklin. So it's not that many.
they all skim together. I apologize. But okay. So yeah, I know your thoughts on the last one. Clearly, just not thinking of it now. What are your thoughts on this latest trailer? There's no like special. I think it's just official trailer because the last one was a teaser.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a little more exciting, right? We get to see who our antagonist is, a little bit more kind of depth. Some of the questions that we had asked are kind of even brought up in this, if he recognized Natalie Portman right away, things like that, and kind of what their relationship and working together, their chemistry, what that's going to look like. So, yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. This definitely made me more excited for the movie than the teaser or the last trailer that we watched did.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, Dylan Muss. I don't think you were on that breakdown with me.
I don't think so.
Okay, perfect.
Was that a
Okay,
Super Bowl thing, or was
there.
that because I was on the Super
No,
Bowl?
that was
Okay.
after the Super Bowl thing. The Super Bowl
Gotcha.
thing was Lord of the Rings. I remember that one very specifically.
I think it was about a month ago.
Yeah.
So you remember that one from like 3 months ago.
It was Lord of the Rings, man. Okay, come on, that's a special selling point.
Well, no, actually, you're right, because Thor, I held off from watching that first trailer, and then it was Doctor Strange that I couldn't avoid it because I was at the theater.
Did absolutely, ruined your whole plan there.
So yeah, I got caught up there, but I had seen all the memes, and I feel like Taylor was
the
putting
gifs.
that one GIF of him going out, whatever his name, Chris Pratt.
Okay, that's a
sliding out.
prime gift, though.
Chris Hemsworth, not Chris Pratt.
Well, Chris Pratt was. Oh no!
Actually, no, you're right. They're both there.
No,
I guess
you're right though. Chris
we're
Hemsworth
both right.
is sliding out from Chris Pratt, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore.
The Chrisception. It's messing with my brain.
Someone named Chris. You could, you cover Chris Evans as well. You're just good to go. You'll probably be talking about an MCU actor. But no, I really like this trailer. I feel like, the big thing here is definitely the villain, and we knew it's Christian Bale and whatnot, but just to see the look they're going for, and I think for me the tone. Because we've seen from Ragnarok and, knowing this is Taika as well, kind of has that same goofy style. Obviously, that GIF is like a very comedic kind of moment. But this villain does not seem to be, into that quippy Marvel thing. Like, he's not going to be saying any jokes. Maybe there'll be a couple jokes at his expense, but it seems like a much more serious tone. So we'll see how that goes with the rest of the characters and the vibe of the movie. But then I guess the other thing is, since this is a longer trailer, we just kind of see a lot of different locations that we're going to, and not a lot that I'm familiar with. Like, these seem like a lot of new locations for MCU things, so I'm curious to maybe break down some of those if we look through that trailer, because it seems like this movie's got a lot going for it, and I'm really I'm excited to break it down more.
Are you worried that it has too much based on that trailer then?
Too much what?
Just, too many places, too many things going on that maybe we spend too much time trying to understand where we are and follow what's going on or whatever it may be.
I don't think I'm worried, just because I have so much faith in Taika as a director that I'm sure it'll work pretty well. But I guess there's a couple character interactions that you don't really see at all in this trailer that I noticed that we can get into more in the nitty gritty of it. But I have enough faith in Taika that I think this will be a movie that I'll the very least like a lot. So he's got a banging track record from the last like 5 or 6 movies he's directed. So yeah,
right on. Yeah. So yeah, I really like the teaser that was shown last time. I love just Chris Hemsworth where he is right now in the MCU, and also I just love Thor Ragnarok. Like, that's just such a good feel good movie. Like, it's an easy watch and it's just really fun. And I just really like the flavor that's in that movie, and I was expecting more, especially after that last teaser. And my biggest thought from the last teaser was just that we hadn't seen gore, so I really like that this one was like, I think half the trailer is basically him, with some other splices in there. But I know specifically, like, right halfway through the trailer, that's when it's actually revealed he's on screen, and just looking menacing. And I have like mixed thoughts on him. Obviously, I'll talk more specifics when we actually have the trailer on screen. But I feel like I'm leaning more. I like it, but there's just some things I think could have been improved a little bit, and I don't even know if it would have been better. It's just like I feel like my mind is telling me like I kind of want to see that version of that something. I'll say what that is when we have the trailer up. But overall, I think it was a great trailer. Again, I think it's just building upon what the teaser was, and I think some people might not like how there's just like recycled footage, but at the same time, like, you don't want to just show too much. And I really think that this is a good add-on to what that teaser was. Like this is like a full-out trailer from what we saw in the teaser. So so that was my thoughts. I'll pull up the trailer here, and we'll do what we do, and we'll press play here and just scroll through. If there's anything that you guys want me to pause at, I'm pretty bad, as Travis always likes to mention, with my pauses. Never get to pause when he wants me to.
Yeah, I guess as this is, you can hit play if you want, but like the first thing off is like this first 20 seconds or whatever is Korg that we see here, and he's kind of, it's just like a very trailer exposition moment. So I was wondering if you guys think that's actually going to be in the movie, because it kind of like ends, especially with that joke on like, and then Jane shows up essentially, right? So it doesn't, like, I don't know how that fits into this scene, if this is the scene when he's having this monologue. So I wondered if that's like more of a trailer thing, just to kind of get you in the mood, fill you in for the people who maybe missed the 3, 4, 5 other Thor movies that he's been in since the last Thor movie. But so do you guys think that's like something that appears in the whole movie, or they edit it differently?
Yeah, I feel like, as weird as it is, like, just like picturing where this is happening in like an MCU film, like, just Korg, like, exactly what you just said, like recapping the events, basically what happened in Thor's previous adventures. But I think it's weird enough in that realm that like it works, especially like he's speaking to like some alien people there, and like it's really believable that he is, in my opinion, just like there telling a story about this Thor character who, like, really he is a heroic type hero that you could imagine people just telling his stories. And but yeah, it's I love it. I just hear Taika's voice like narrating his own trailer for his own movie. I absolutely love this stuff. But just
the voiceover doesn't work for the movie though, because like Dylan was saying, it goes from his whole story about working out and all the way till he meets Jane. And I mean, in the beginning of the movie, that doesn't really make sense.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could do it in the later half, but
yeah,
I guess the part, like, I could see that training montage, so to speak. I could see that being very fast in the movie.
Yeah.
Like them just going through that, like, okay, we're back to fit Thor, and then you can get into the Jane stuff later on and actually build to that. But at least for like the stuff where he's, working out with the chains, like, I don't know if that's a 10-minute sequence that you go through. Like, I could see that being a thing that, like, even Korg just talks over it in this particular moment.
Yeah, I definitely think that training sequence will happen really quick, like at the start of the film. And yeah, like that easily could happen, like I just said, like pretty early on, and then maybe this is Korg, like, I don't think this is halfway through the film or anything, but he's just at that stage. But I don't know. You are bringing up some good points where maybe it isn't in the film. I think that would be really fun and unique to just like make a specific scene for like a trailer. I think not a lot of people do that, but
S-Bubs did say that it's probably a shot from the movie, but the audio was recorded for the trailer.
Yeah.
Which
no,
does make
at least the end of it is kind of going to be edited differently than the movie for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work to create this entire scene for 2 seconds of shot to lead into a voiceover for no reason.
MCU bucks, man.
It's
Spare no expense.
It's true.
Spare no expense. Yeah.
The Space Viking.
And this was recycled, was it not?
I'm gonna pull up my subtitles.
So this,
I forgot that you guys can't hear this.
This location's like a new planet, right? Like, I don't really recognize.
Yeah,
this from the
I
past.
don't think it's anywhere that we've been before, at least previously in the MCU, like cinema. I guess that's what it is. MCU is Marvel Cinematic Universe. There you go. I just want to pause on the jacket here. I don't think we saw the back of it in the last teaser trailer, but I was on the last breakdown of the teaser. I was saying how I would totally love if it said like Star-Lord or something on it, like it's actually Star-Lord's jacket. If any, have you played Guardians of the Galaxy, like the Marvel game that came out?
Not yet. It is on Game Pass, so I intend to.
Oh, okay, so Star-Lord's jacket in there, it reminded me very much of like this vest that that Thor had. So I was saying on the last one that it'd be totally awesome if it was actually that same one, but here clearly not. It's just a nice bejeweled studded vest, but still looking good.
Very 70s.
Yeah. Nice little cruise ship planet there. Look at those pants too. Oh, I gotta go back here. I am bad at the pauses. Look at these pants that Korg's rocking here. I love the style he's got.
He's very stylish. Yeah, he used to just be that pile of rocks, but now he definitely has like some outfits and stuff, right?
Exactly. He's adding to his wardrobe. Beautiful buckle too. Just like gold ram.
That's like a wrestling belt for sure.
Has he always been missing an arm?
Who?
Korg?
He's got two arms,
it's in front of him. He's like this. He's like this right now.
Oh, okay. I see it now. Yeah. Okay.
It was the pause. Blame it on the pause. It all comes back to the pause.
There it is. It's back.
Well,
So,
there's our
here's the training
montage.
Yeah, like this seems like a quick montage in the movie.
Yeah.
See, and now we're like back here where
Right.
this looks like back on Earth. You know, there's some sort of riot going on.
Yeah, so we have this was the first shot of Jane from the teaser, and I think just with the chaos that was going on in my mind, I just assumed this was actually like a later fight of, you know, chaos is going on. We have Jane seeing Thor. I'm glad. I'm assuming this isn't like a late scene, just especially with how much we're seeing of it, and I think some scenes that follow, but yeah.
I'm going to stick it out with this is the first time he sees her. That's still my guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
I think you're right.
So definitely mid-movie, earlier on at the most.
Right. Oh, and then this has been controversial online, hasn't it?
Yes. Oh, this is hilarious. So yes, I didn't watch the trailer like right away yesterday. But you know, we're all messaging each other, and I see a screenshot of this thing, and I assumed it was from the Thor trailer. I didn't realize how goofy it looked, in my opinion, like till I actually watched the trailer. Before I go any further, like, what are you guys' thoughts initially on this shot? We got Thor with this helmet that's clearly not actually on Chris Hemsworth's face.
Right. I got to see it in the movie. Like, to me, it's such a quick shot that, and we do see it from the side after this particular shot, but I don't know. I don't want to dig too deep into it and say it sucks. Maybe it changes as well before like the actual final movie. But you know, at the same time, like Taika is goofy, and like maybe this costume is intentionally quite silly, and he only wears it in like one or two scenes. So I don't know. I guess it doesn't bother me as much as a lot of people, but I can see where they're coming from because it does look a bit cheesy. But to me, that fits kind of the vibe of these movies. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Jessica?
Well, I mean, when you go just seconds back and look at Jane's mask, it fits nicely. It looks good.
Oh, it looks gorgeous. Yeah.
So in comparison, why is his so ill-fitted? Like, you can't even see his eyes at all.
I know. That's where it's like I kind of want to like go with what Dylan was saying, where like maybe it's intentionally meant to like just be goofy, especially because we see Jane in this shot like super action superhero pose, like she's looking badass, and then the next shot is just our Thor, Chris Hemsworth Thor, with just like oversized helmet.
What if this plot point in the movie is that Thor, you know, he's feeling good again, he's fit, and he's back on Earth, and he's like, I'm gonna be a hero again. So he gets on like this very over the top outfit to like go save the day and stuff like that. I don't know, that could work. That he would pick just this very cheesy outfit.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're far off the mark there. I can definitely see that being plausible. I think like for me, just like the first shot of seeing it is just like, come on guys, like we could have done better there. Like we can't even see his one eye. It's just like so in this.
Well, that's maybe a reference to the fact that he lost his eye. It's all like it's cinema. It's art.
I guess you're right. Yeah, he did lose his eye. Yeah, and like maybe because like the colors are just like really bright, it just really has that like plastic Halloween like cheap mask with like just like the rope string to like keep it on. Like that's what that's the vibes I'm getting from it. But you are right. Like I shouldn't judge it till I actually see it on the screen, on the big screen. But
And it is just this one kind of still shot, right? If there's more scenes in the movie,
we
maybe
see a side view.
yeah,
as
we
well
see a
after this.
side shot once I hit play.
I will
here.
say I like the body part of it. Like that part.
Yeah.
looks
Oh,
really sick. I like the
very,
blue
very
and
nice.
gold.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
completely
And even
agree.
from the side here, like it looks a bit better. Maybe I don't know. It still looks a
Yeah.
bit goofy actually, but
Like the shape of it like looks like that goofiness, but it looks more the goofiness like in the design more so than it's like a CGI, like, oh, I can see that this is CGI.
Right.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
also
but,
her helmet's off now, so there's definitely
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
missing scene there.
yeah, I don't
or
know.
some
I-
MCU trailer editing that they do sometimes to throw people off.
It's not actually her. It's like Korg that he's talking to in the scene. But yeah, like for me personally, I think I was playing devil's advocate with myself, and it's like, well, maybe it's one of those helmets that just kind of like folds off, like when he doesn't need it, like Star-Lord has. Like he doesn't actually take off his helmet. I don't know how that would work for this guy, but I mean, he's got a new suit, so clearly it could be some sort of new technology. Oh yeah, there you go. S-Bub said later on, you see. Oh, her helmet is retractable, so hopefully it's the same for him.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like, come on, guys, like just give him a practical helmet. We had Summer
Natalie,
Hansey.
like hers is like that. That's a real helmet, I'm guessing, or is that CGI? Because if that is CGI, it looks good. I don't know what they've done for her.
Yeah, here it looks very practical, but there's another scene that I'll pause once we eventually get there. That it does kind of have that same effect where, here, maybe if like. So when I play here, watch the mask. He's gonna like lower his head, and it doesn't look like the mask actually follows him like the way that a normal helmet would. It looks like it kind of like has this weird
That's
effect.
funny.
Okay, maybe you'll see it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm seeing things.
Ah, okay. I know I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. So I think the mask does have a similar effect like later on in that scene that I will pause there. But like for me personally, I just I don't know. I think. Like for how little that we're actually seeing like the mask in action, it's like, why not just have a practical mask? Like they're obviously designed one to just like work on the actual what the costume's gonna look like. So there is definitely a physical helmet somewhere on set.
I
that
don't
they
even
could
in
just
this
have,
shot, like
even
the
for
side view
teaser.
kind of looks like it could be a real helmet. Like I don't know, man. It's hard
Yeah.
to tell
This?
with MCU sometimes. I think that could be.
I think
don't
this is
know.
all the evidence you need right here, sir.
But then, but I mean, like, yeah, specifically the side view, like it looks more normal. I don't know.
Maybe they use both. Maybe
Maybe the lighting's weird in the scene. There's a lot of
Yeah.
fires going off. I don't know.
But yeah, to stop shitting on that, I love the color tones of just the blue. If you know me, I'm a big blue proponent, best color there is. So love
It does
to see
give
it
me
with the gold.
Aquaman vibes, though. Look at the arms.
the specifically the
Yeah,
arms. Yeah,
the
no,
fishnet,
you're definitely right.
Kind of scaly looking fish almost.
Yeah. And yeah, just Jane's outfit looking awesome too. I'm super excited to have her back on screen.
Yep.
Let's keep going. Music. Boom. Superhero entrance.
Superhero landing. Yeah.
That's I forgot to say it too. That's where her helmet actually retracted. We saw it.
I see.
there.
This place looks cool. This civilization.
Yeah, this is Olympus, I believe. Oh, this is
Okay.
the meme shot. Look at that hair. Maybe I'll go back. Yeah, this is because this was in the teaser. This
yeah,
place,
that's fun.
like Mount
Just so
Olympus,
everyone
yeah.
knows, the 7 months, 6 days, all of that, it's actually slightly off. People have done the math on it, the dates, and apparently it's 8 months. Not 7.
Ooh, damn. You
The
heard that,
important thing is
Feige?
that that's
You
how
better
he
fix that for the
feels,
movies coming
and
up.
that's how like serious he is about it.
In his world, I don't know, maybe the multiverse messed up a couple of his months.
That's true. That's very.
I mean, I never see him do math, so like we can't just assume that he's some math guy.
I feel like
He's a god.
Loki is definitely the brainy brother.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. His favorite subject was PE. Absolutely.
100%.
do we know if Jane Foster was snapped or was she around that 5 years? I feel like this kind of climb to being the mighty Thor, right? Like that would make sense for her to be doing that in those 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, someone in the comments will probably confirm or deny any and all the information that we say. But I definitely think that is the case, because in that 5 years, like, you just have Thor like going off and like kind of being, you know, just depressed for a long time. So it definitely would fit that like this new individual comes in and is just doing that for 5 years, because she doesn't look new to it. Obviously, like, there's some dialogue they have just talking about like what she say, something about like the first monster. So like she definitely isn't a rookie in that regard.
Right.
So I think that theory is pretty damn close to the.
And I mean, his costume looks great here, and I also really like Valkyrie's costume, like, and her hair as well. She looks awesome.
Yeah, she looks really awesome. Look at these giant things right here.
I
For the audio
believe we
listeners,
talked
I'm
about
circling his biceps.
It's a nice bicep. I believe we talked about it on last breakdown, but obviously Dylan wasn't there. What do you think of the possibility of her being a variant from another multiverse?
Like Jane specifically.
Jane? Yeah, we definitely talked about that on the teaser. Because I don't know who said it specifically, but we were talking about how, and I agree at this point that, like, I feel like it would kind of take away just that personal relationship that's already like been tackled, like, with those two characters. You know, it's between Thor and Jane, like in the first movie and the second movie. If she's just a like a variant, I feel like there's not much to like talk about there. It's just like, oh yeah, I don't remember who you are like at all, so they just have to build their relationship from that point. But I think it's a lot more interesting if it's actually the same Jane that we knew.
I mean,
and
if they're talking about how many days it's been since they've seen each other, then wouldn't that mean that it's the same one?
Well,
Yeah,
because what
good
did she
point.
say specifically? How long has it been since we've seen each other? I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of the same question as some that are asked in Multiverse
Yeah, I mean,
of Madness,
she
right?
very
Like,
yeah, she could have come from another multiverse and like known a Thor there and could be asking it that way. But
yeah,
I think it'd be a miss if they did that. I mean, multiverse
Yeah.
stuff is fun, but I think that just. And I mean, I'm not even I really don't like the first two Thor movies, so it's like I'm not too attached to them emotionally in that connection built there, but like it still does exist, and it'd be kind of maybe a shame to throw that away. I don't know.
yeah. I feel like also if you
Then you got to explain where the Jane Foster in this time in 616 is. Kind of missing.
Yeah, and like that is going to be tackled, especially like with Gamora, right? In Guardians, like that isn't the same Gamora like that's
Right,
out there.
right.
Obviously, we saw her die, so they are going to be tackling that whole ordeal. But
Yeah, to do that exact same storyline twice, you would think is like
in the
kind of
same
a
year,
miss.
yeah, yeah, that's bold there, Cotton. But I don't know. I really feel like it is going to be that same Jane. I mean, just through the dialogue in this trailer, and also just it's what I want, man.
Mhm.
And I also feel like if they just keep doing like these multiverse things, like obviously it's a big factor that's in play now in the MCU, but I think like we just have Multiverse of Madness, and if it's just like people might just get tired of it's just like all of these things are just being pulled from the multiverse. I think I don't know, because we are going to be just flooded with the multiverse stuff. Like people probably will be thinking
Yeah.
that already, like getting that multiverse fatigue. But
On the other side of the coin, though, if they are going to do that, like doing it right after Multiverse of Madness, where all this stuff is explained, is kind of a
Yeah.
prime time to do it. You know, you've set it up,
Yeah.
kind of.
No, you're
I
right.
mean,
yeah.
technically, this movie doesn't have to come timeline-wise after Multiverse of Madness, even though they're releasing it now. We have a lot of MCU movies that are, you know, you watch Iron Man, whatever.
But I mean,
and
like
then
in
you have
terms
to
of the
watch-
actual release schedule, and like
Yeah, oh, for
2
sure.
months,
But
3 months after Multiverse.
yeah, I was just meaning in the actual movie setting that Strange might have not even, you know, done any of the multiverse stuff at this point yet.
Yeah, I mean that stuff kind of started with Spider-Man though too. If we go back there, which is weird because that's like a Sony related thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
maybe we're
As
getting too in the weeds on
Bubs
that
in the
one.
chat said, apparently in the Endgame script, Jane got snapped, but it was also said that Wong was snapped, and that's just, I guess, now been retconned. So they have some, you know, some editing powers that they can just
Yeah.
go back and kind of change some things, especially if it's not like a main concept or something. It's like I'm not gonna notice that. So
Yeah.
So clearly it's a detail they can kind of mess around with that. But also if it wasn't said on screen or anything, right? If Jane was snapped or not, like is it really in effect, even if it was just on
You're right.
the script? You know. All right, let's keep going.
So I guess this is kind of the shot where we're going to Gore's
yeah.
universe or timeline or whatever the hell's going on there.
Yeah, so this is like a
It's like a black hole almost going.
yeah. I love just this shot, very very beautiful. But this is just like some sort of cage or something. I don't know if it's a tanning bed or something for our god butcher.
Galactic tanning bed.
Just getting cosmic rays. Yeah. There's his sword.
The
I think
long
it's
nails.
The Ever Chosen. This shot right here got me so fucking pumped because up until this point, like I'd only seen like fan art or something of the gore or like obviously from the comic images, but hadn't seen like Christian Bale's other than like a weird shot from on set. It was like him like in like the white thing like cover over his head and everything, so I didn't really get a shot of his face, and I got so pumped when I saw like his eyes light up. And then I have
but
like the
in this
Voldemort
pause right
nose.
here, this is totally just reminds me of what is it, The Nun?
That's what Taylor was making memes about
Taylor's
that,
making
too.
all sorts of comparisons. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see it. I see it. I also see some Voldemort in there, and I got really excited because I'm like, man, Christian Bale, obviously he's the actor there, but if they just like took his like nose and like had the Voldemort effect, it would have been, in my opinion, just awesome. I don't think it's too much CGI to be like, oh, this is just weird. I can't get over it. I mean, I just spent how long just talking about a CGI with the helmet that I really didn't like. So I really think that this could have been used properly. And I think that's my biggest complaint like about his overall look is just the nose, because like once I get past this shot, there's a moment when it's just Christian Bale with like pale paint on, and it's just I can't see like Gore the God Butcher fully, but there's certain moments in the trailer that I completely see it, and that's where like I can't really judge it until I see it on screen, because I'm still seeing the glimpses of like it's Christian Bale, so I know he's going to be like a killer role or just performance with what they got, and MCU hasn't let me down too many times, minus a big Eternals movie, but I think I don't know. I trust them with the character. It's just like my initial thoughts on the look is that they could have just played around with his face.
Now, are you coming at that from like thinking about what he looks like in the comics?
Yeah,
or?
I'll bring up an image to compare.
So have you read any like of the comics that has him in it, or are you just kind of looking up images and stuff?
Very, very like minorly.
Okay.
I forget what it was. I think it was a Thor comic. We were doing it for I was doing homework for comic book versions, and there was it might have even been like reading through the oh my gosh, the King in Black series, and he might have appeared that like I don't remember specifically what comic it was. Some of the comics will probably correct me here, but it actually had like his origin tale of which they'll probably mention in the movie, but if you didn't know, like the origin of Gore the God Butcher is that he came from a planet, and again, I'm probably gonna, I'm not super well versed in it.
This is your interpretation.
This is my interpretation. This is the version I got from reading it. Was like on his planet, like everyone was like dying of a drought, famine, like just no water, so they're all praying to their gods and like asking for the gods to just save them, and then Gore's family, just succumbed to like malnourishment, no water, all these things, and then Gore like survived and just had this vendetta that like the gods didn't save us. So I'm that's like a big Cole's Notes version, but still
Yeah, okay.
That's like the base thing where now he's just like he hates gods, he's gonna go after them and kill them. And that sword that was initially shown, that is kind of, again, from what I understand, kind of like a big source of who he is, like his power and just how he can actually Jessica's headcanon. There you go. We got Jessica. She's not even on screen, but she's still just chiming into the chat. Big respect there. But yeah, so yeah, like again, I could be completely wrong there, but still, that's the version I kind of know. And from that issue, you actually got to see him. So I will pull up. I had an image, right? So this is see the nose. See how it's kind of Voldemort-y, eh?
Yep, I got
It's not actually fully there. That's another shot where it's like really, you can see his nostrils, but it's
and then
it's pretty smooth.
the hair kind of thing too, where it kind of looks like a Twi'lek a little bit. Like I saw people talking about that online.
Yeah, like the tendril things. Yeah. No, yeah, totally right. So this first shot, again, I haven't really played much, so we haven't really seen him, but I was really excited that they did have the nose thing, and then what followed was a bit disappointment for me personally. And again, it's pretty minor. I might be ashamed that I'm spending this much time like talking about it, but still, just my initial thoughts. But yeah, what did you think initially, Dylan, of just his look overall? I'm assuming you haven't really experienced Gore the God Butcher too much in your travels.
Yeah, I'm coming in blind on this villain. I like it. I am not. I don't think I'll ever really complain about less CGI on MCU stuff. Like I think they overdo it in some ways right now. So I'm down to have just like presumably a painted Christian Bale and no CGI on him. Like that works for me. I think he's a great actor, and like to hopefully get to see some range, because it's going to be him acting and not like having this awkward green screen thing splashed on his face to do the nose and stuff.
Yeah.
So I see where you're coming from for sure, and I think the comic book version is certainly going to be like more interesting just because he's not just a human that's gray. But I like the look, and I'm pretty hyped. Like I think some of the shots here really do some justice to him. I think he looks fucking terrifying still, even though he is more humanly. He still is just like super scary. I mean, this shot, we've had it up for 2 minutes now, and I'm gonna have nightmares of this.
It's a terrifying shot, just with like the
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This looks like what's it called? Something snare, devil's snare. It's
Oh,
like
yeah, sure.
from Harry Potter that binds them together. But big error.
Right
there.
back to the start.
I'm gonna lose my
Oh,
privileges.
you sniped it though.
Oh yeah, that's what I do, man. I make
Yeah.
mistakes and correct them quickly.
I think you're a good trailer guy.
So this is the shot, and again here, like he still looks really, really good and scary.
Mhm.
And I'm not really shitting on this scene in particular, other than being like, oh, okay, it is just Christian Bale's nose. But then, from the scene that I'm about.
Oh yeah, we
to
saw
pause
that
right-
shot before. Yeah, this I see what you mean. Like this is just Christian Bale.
Like this could be Batman. Like like 10 years after he's retired, Alfred comes to him and he's just not looking too good. He's got like 5
Yeah,
kids, and he's
like
just
someone throws like a bag of flour at his head, and it's like, oh, I got flour. all over me.
Yeah, exactly. Christian Bale, he's
Yeah.
a handsome man, but like still like we have this, and then I was like this, like not the same,
Yeah.
same effect really.
That's fair. Even the eyes, or go back to the other comic book. Yeah.
This
Okay. Well, so they do have some different renditions of his eyes.
Yeah.
I really like Yeah, it's
Sorry.
weird actually, because this shot is so different than the other versions, where like even the other
Yeah.
shots, like his mouth and stuff is like darker, as if he was just eating, some god flesh or something
some
like
juice.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even like the kind of rings, like yeah. Go ahead to that next shot. Just like the
Yeah.
darkness around his eyes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be weird to see him like in different lighting. It feels like it'll be a completely different style.
Yeah. I think maybe what this shot is over here, or from what I hope is
Now I
it's
just
actually
laugh at it when I see it. After.
is actually like him before like he really becomes like Gore the God Butcher.
Flashback
Like maybe
moment here?
yeah, like maybe
Okay.
this is him with his family, and like life was good, on our planet, blah blah blah, and then which is what came of it is just
Yeah.
because he he looks a little chapped lips. Maybe he
Mhm.
could use some water here, but like he doesn't
He
look
could use some water.
he doesn't look like he's gonna go out there and just murder all these gods, right?
Right.
So
Yeah,
in comparison to this other shot where it is in this like just super dark setting, like like he's got so many more scars here and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's just gone through
That's a
so much
different
more.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. So and also
And look at those biceps too. Oh my god.
yeah, look at those. They're no
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, but he's he
getting
can
there.
last a couple rounds with Thor. Like I hope, or it'll be a really anticlimactic end fight and battle.
Mhm.
But like just the darkness and like this black stuff that's like on his lips, as you pointed out, on his robes and his hands. Again, like I don't understand fully like how his power works, but like look at like his hand here, how he has like
Yeah.
that black goo, and again, like I think that's actually tied to the
Okay.
Everblack sword. Maybe someone in the comments. Maybe the sword will corrupt him over the course of the movie. Yeah, S-Bubs, I don't think you're
Okay,
far
the
off the mark
sword is
there.
like some sort of magical object.
Yeah, because like again, I'm not too well versed in it, unfortunately, so not the best person to be speaking on the subject. But still, this is what you got. So I like his sword had that some sort of like black power attached to it because I don't know if it's the same blade or if it's another blade, but the King in Black, he's like the god of the symbiotes in the comic books. He
Mm.
has that weapon, and it's called
Oh,
like All
okay.
Black. And again, like obviously it's like a different symbiote type
yeah.
thing, but still, like, think of that. The
Very
sword is
cool.
a symbiote, I believe. Okay, that's what S-Bub said. And I
Nice.
think you're actually right. I think it is like the first symbiote that was made from
Damn, were we setting up Venom?
King
Well, I guess
Black.
they've already set up Venom. I was just thinking that, but
yeah. They can keep Venom in the Sonyverse for now. I love
well,
him.
we got
and
that
everything,
goo.
but-
Remember, we got the goo in the MCU. At the
Oh,
end
we
of
do have the goo in
the
the
post-credit
MCU. You're not
scene.
wrong. Yes.
I just watched that again. That's why I remember that.
Right on. Maybe we'll go to a quick ad break here, and then we'll get Jessica's thoughts on Gore the God Butcher. So we will be right back. And we're back. So Jessica, first thoughts on Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher here? Super pale man. You getting vibes from Da Vinci Code, maybe?
Like I said, the Nun was definitely
the Nun.
still,
That's right. Yeah.
so I was kind of listening in while I wasn't here, and for sure that when I started watching it the first time, and he comes out and it was like, oh my gosh, like look at him, he looks creepy, looks great. And then there's the scene in the bright light, and it's just like, oh yeah, if I didn't know that was Christian Bale before, 100% know that's Christian Bale now, because it's exactly him.
You talk about this,
But then
this shot coming up where it's literally just Christian Bale like in his yard.
yeah, got some contacts on though, at least.
He's looking old these days. Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing to take away from that fact. To me, I don't know enough about Gore to have the nose thing bother me, but the fact that it was just so blatantly him was kind of off-putting.
Yeah.
Then when you continue to watch them, then you do get to those scenes where he's all, beat up and cut up, and it looks like, not so much different, but at least there's some special effects on his face to kind of take away from the fact that he's Christian Bale a little bit. Makes it, I don't know, believable is not the right word, enjoyable is not the right word, but it just feels less Christian Bale-y, however, to kind of describe that. But for me, I love Christian Bale. He is like top tier acting. So I think any role that he's in, he's going to crush. So I'm excited to see him in an MCU movie.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited to just have him in like a super villain role, he's actually he does have those like in his repertoire of being like American Psycho, obviously not a good guy there, but like it's been so long since I've actually seen him like in a villain role, so I've just, since I heard that he was playing like this type of character, before I even knew who Gore the God Butcher was, I'm like, that is just exciting. Christian Bale, MCU, villain, super, super exciting. All in the Game was saying, can't see Bale wanting to do more than one of these movies, but does he die or is he somehow put on ice at the end of the movie? I personally, first, I agree with that first portion that you said where can't see him doing more than one of these movies. I feel like it's maybe just one of those things he just wants to do one and done, like a part of the MCU, especially like being a villain. Like it's a perfect role for him to do that with. Like he doesn't have a lot of baggage of forcing him to be, on a multi movie project or whatever it might be. So I personally think he will be killed off. But who knows? Like maybe he does get cast away somewhere to the point where like Gore the God Butcher might still be somewhere in the MCU. I know he's in many different multiverses, but like, maybe somewhere in the MCU somewhere. And maybe if we see him again, it doesn't even have to be Christian Bale at that point, like, because he is the type of character I don't think is like a regular human age or anything like that. Like he probably could just be around for like hundreds of years or something. So if they want to write him in a different way to just bring him back, I think that could work.
Do we know if he signed just a one movie contract? Because I think unless people have contracts ending and don't want to re-sign, generally they keep people alive in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know specifically. Someone in the chat might confirm that. But I don't know. I just feel like where Bale's at, like in his career, it's not like he's an upcoming actor or anything like that. So it's kind of hard for me to personally just think that he would be like, oh yeah, no, I'll totally pin on for like a 3-movie like reoccurring villain that becomes like an anti-hero or something like that. Like it just doesn't really make sense to me, like on paper, but I don't really have much reasoning for that.
I think he's definitely one and done. And the multiverse stuff, like if you need to bring him back for some reason, you could do that, or a what if episode where you have the character but like you don't get Christian Bale to voice him and you bring him in that way. So like you could see him again, but I don't think that'd be anytime soon. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the case is. I think just expect this to be a kind of one and done. He doesn't even need to necessarily die, but I think he'll have a very finite ending, whatever it is. Most likely death, though.
Most likely death. Just like all of us. All in the Game said he only signed for this movie. So, yeah. Reliable
because
source.
Because he's not CGI or anything, it's kind of hard to just pull out a new actor. And,
True.
Like we said, it's literally Christian Bale with some paint on him.
Yeah, you could have someone else from this like race of people, these gray
Yeah.
looking people. So, well, unless I'm assuming they're all dead based on Kirklin's description.
Yeah,
but
in my
maybe there's still
headcanon,
some other,
they
other
are.
ones out there. His brother Lore or something like that.
His brother Lore. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool family. Gore, Lore,
Thor.
Thor.
What?
You need,
He's
you need
related.
more? Let's keep on rolling on.
Well, very quickly
Oh,
to go
sorry.
back to that scene. I guess this is technically the same scene here, but with the creature, the giant creature. I guess that was in
yep.
the teaser, right? So you guys
Yep.
probably talked about that. Is there like a leading theory? Because I was thinking like, ooh, is this like
Yeah.
Gore's pet or something like that? But based on the backstory you just set up for Gore, I don't know how those two things are related. They could be, I guess. But
It's a fucking badass pet. That's what it is. No,
Mhm.
on the teaser trailer, Travis did say that this is a god. So this is like one of Gore's
Oh, okay.
victims.
Gotcha.
Looks very godly. Badass
Mhm.
looking
It's
creature.
an Elden Ring boss for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, fits that description. It's funny too because like at first I don't know why I just thought it like didn't have eyes. I thought it was just like a huge
Mm.
mouth.
He's
had
kind of
some
got the
eyes.
Gore nose that you were looking for. a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. Attack this nose on Gore, but like I didn't realize those were his eyes, and now it's just like that's just like a naked mole rat with some wild horns. At
True.
least the face of it, wild teeth, but
Big claws too.
yeah. Let's see if yeah. So just a giant god that Gore butches.
Mhm.
All in the game said in the chat. So
Butches.
I don't. He probably has a name, somewhere in the comics and stuff as they most
Gotcha.
do, but.
Okay.
I will say, actually, I totally forgot he said this line where he says, "So this is my vow, all gods will die."
Mm.
Maybe it is unlikely that he would have said that, like if his family like still was alive. And also like where he is, it doesn't look like a super desert that's like just dying. Like you see a lot
Yeah.
of green vegetation. So, yeah,
Who
maybe
knows?
he is looking like this when he's not all
Yeah.
juiced up on the black
Right.
gunk, whatever the hell that stuff is.
Venom juice.
The venom juice this July. You got some goots.
I love the boat. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We see a little bit of Jane Foster fighting here. Very badass move.
This was the shot actually where I thought that her helmet looked like it moved a little bit, like when they're like walking right here.
I see. Okay.
I don't know. It had some CGI vibes, but
Yeah.
obviously I'm being a little nitpicky here. And this is
Yeah. What's going on with him like destroying this planet? Is that
Yeah,
like another
it happens
ego
quick.
kind of god, where it's a god planet sort of thing?
I don't. Yeah, I don't really know. Honestly, maybe this is like when he gets the sword, perhaps. I will say I love this like black and white that's going on, like when he actually
Sure, yeah,
is doing something. Like obviously we saw it in when he's coming through the tendril things and just
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
all creepy and nun like.
You
As
know-
some of the comparisons were, but
I didn't think about this until right now when we have this trailer on pause, but at this point, Jane Foster's talking about like the first bad guy she taken out. So maybe that's like alluding to like this is the first god that he killed or something like that. I don't know if that's getting too deep in
I
the-
like
in the
that.
editing
No, I
bay,
like that.
but-
I didn't even think about that, but that's awesome. That'd be wild.
Well, your brilliant pause work got me to that realization.
You're
so
welcome. Hear that,
let's do it.
Travis? Fuck you, asshole. Okay, so we get Russell
Right.
Crowe
Yeah.
is Zeus here.
Did we know he
and-
was in this? Okay, I swear when I saw this, I thought he like had a cameo in another movie. Is this in another MCU movie? Is that not the case? Am I just mixing up characters? Am I thinking
It's-
of like the other funny cameos that were in Ragnarok?
It's funny because like when I first heard that he was going to be in this, I thought he was a reoccurring character. Especially like I feel like he just fits as you were mentioning, like in Ragnarok,
Yeah.
like being.
I'm thinking of like how Matt Damon was like Loki in that play.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing is what I'm
You
picturing.
have Chris Hemsworth brother like playing.
yeah,
Thor.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I totally had a similar thought, especially when we were talking about it in the last teaser, because like it was known that he was playing this, he was casted for it, but they
Mhm.
didn't actually show his face in the teaser trailer, which I thought was interesting. We get
Yeah.
it here. Russell Crowe confirmed he was Zeus in an interview like a year ago. Oh, okay, but that's just in
Right.
anticipation for this movie.
I mean,
That's
look at that like weapon he's holding, just the
Oh
lightning
yeah,
bolt. It's pretty cool.
absolutely, and that's not CGI. That's a real one. Even when he throws
course.
the lightning, that's just Russell Crowe.
It's a plastic prop.
Yeah. We get so that was actually Valkyrie using
Yeah.
that plastic prop or plastic prop.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
so this is-
interesting.
Well, and the other, this kind of
Happens
also
quick.
leads into the other point
Jeez.
I was going to make is that
That's tough.
you trying to get the snipe on.
I'm trying to get like the
nice.
perfect. That one
There you
works.
go.
Okay, sorry.
There you go. Yeah, what I was just going to say is that Valkyrie is the only person we see actually fight him in
Mhm.
this trailer. We'd never see Jane anywhere near him, and then they're setting up shots that are like him and Thor look like they're, maybe talking to each other or something. But like when they shows them, it's just them, and then like the background is clearly different. So, like in this trailer, they don't really set up a moment where Gore and Thor are in the same room, or Gore and Jane, at least that I could tell. So that's something where I wonder, when I was talking about earlier, and Jessica, you were asking about like is this movie going to feel disconnected in a way? Like I'm wondering if Jane Foster and her storyline is like unrelated to the Gore storyline, and those are like two separate tracks that happen in the movie. Obviously they're holding back because we don't actually see Thor and him fight either, so they're probably just holding back the final battle between them all. But maybe just a little theory to put out there. I don't know if that's anything to chew on.
Fun. I like that a lot. Just the more I see of like Valkyrie and especially in this specific shot, just this action shot, is like maybe there is actually like different versions of these characters in play in this movie. Especially who was it? All in the Game in the chat said Valkyrie is supposed to find her queen in this movie according to Tessa Thompson, and I feel like that is most likely going to be Jane. So maybe there'll be like a fun love dynamic in there, but like maybe that's a love dynamic that came from another multiverse, right? It's tough because Jane's Mjolnir is definitely like the same one that was crushed. And like that's where New Asgard was from, so maybe there isn't two different versions of them in that regard. It's just from like the last teaser that we get of Valkyrie is like she just seems a lot more like bored in New Asgard. She's like I forget specifically the outfit that she's wearing, but she just looks like a politician type character that just is going through the boring work. Whereas this one is a lot more badass and fun. Sorry, Jessica.
If she's supposed to find her queen and everyone's thinking that that's Jane, it wouldn't make sense that she's a variant then, because she wouldn't be able to stay on this universe. She would have to go back to her own, or you'd get problems, right? So if that's where it's supposed to be going, it doesn't make sense.
I don't think there'll be any variants in this movie.
No, you don't think so?
No.
Yeah.
Like maybe a post-credit scene or something weird like that, but
clearly I'm like fit.
I think there's like our part of this too, where this movie has, I think, been in development for like a long time. Like maybe before a lot of that stuff was established, and like maybe it was supposed to release before some of these other projects. But I also just don't see the need. Like I feel like this movie has enough going. I don't know if I just don't know where like a multiverse stuff fits into the storyline there.
Yeah,
telling
that's a
here,
good point.
But
yeah, I'm obviously like 50-50. I've been flopping just watching this trailer, so we'll see what happens when the movie's actually out. But this fight scene again, like this is where we have that black and white. I keep scrolling. This is that black and white just like setting, and I don't know why. It just reminds me of like 300 when like they have those action sequences, and it's just like darker. It's not black and white in that film, but it just has that like weird effect on the camera lens, and very similar in this, but. I don't know. Like, do we have any thoughts on what this black and white place is? I'm sure it has some sort of tie to the comics that I'm clearly missing, but it's just like his domain or something. It's an awesome like
it
fight.
As his domain,
scene.
yeah. Like maybe that little universe kind of thing popping up that we saw when they're going there with that cage tanning bed you were talking about. Like maybe that's just like his ship essentially, and it's just this weird anomaly in space that he kind of cruises around in, and this is what the land of it looks like, and it just saps all color because he's sad and emo and stuff like that. That's my theory.
Just adding on to the Valkyrie finding her queen talk, as Bub said in the chat, her queen is going to be Captain Marvel. Period. That's a statement right there.
Said probably.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Okay, sorry. I can't read. Her queen is probably going to be Captain Marvel. There's been some casting grids showing that Valkyrie is going to be in the Marvels as well. So, yeah, that's definitely possible there.
Well, what she said, she was trying to find her queen. It doesn't mean she's going to declaratively find it here, but she's looking. She's matchmaking.
Good lawyer work there from Dylan. Seeing those the fine print
hey,
there.
Kirk, before you... Can you just pull up the pictures of Gore that you had again?
Yes. Thanks for reminding me. I meant to bring that up. So now you're back. So this is one of the shots.
So, I mean, his outfit, it's just plain in the comic books as well, more or less.
Yeah.
Just looking at that shot that you had up of Bale, and it really just kind of looked like no, not that one. The white skirt in that sword fight, and it's just kind of unexciting. So I was just wondering if that. No,
Yeah.
well, that too. But in
Yeah,
the scene with Valkyrie, right, where you can see it's like upper body and then the bottom is just a skirt down below.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever
Let me
you
get
were
that shot.
when I came in mere seconds ago. That.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if that was accurate to the comics or what, because it's kind of lackluster in my opinion.
Yeah, I think like the white cape and like cowl that he has is like that's not typically what he has. I think it's just like in the MCU version to make it just, I don't know, fit their interpretation of the character, because in the comics, from what I've seen of the character, like it's this weird like shadowy type cape thing he has. So like it would be really CGI heavy. Again, someone in the chat might comment.
Maybe
on
he's
that.
maybe he's Khonshu's new avatar, and that's why he's got this kind of white robes all around his body.
Yeah, that would. There you go. We're keeping Christian Bale around for a long time. He's Conchu's
Yeah.
new avatar.
Well, Oscar Isaac only signed one movie, you know, like the done characters.
there you go. Christian Bale is just our new lead.
From what I can see, on Google, in the comics, he doesn't have anything on below.
Yeah, just butt naked. He's a Ken doll down there. He's pretty smooth.
So, I mean, yeah, it's not quite accurate. This kind of I don't like this skirt thing going on here.
No. Yeah.
No, feels weird to me.
I think like especially, where is it? This shot that I keep memeing about, this one. This is where like he seems like that villain from Da Vinci Code, like the dude that's just like hunting down Tom Hanks, like our main character, and it's just very like un-gore like it's just so different than like what this version is. Again, like it's a human playing this character. It's not a completely CGI type character, so I can't just nitpick like the differences here and there, because like this shot, like this is a lot more what I'm vibing with. Like that's just terrifying there. And again, it's not the exact same of this. It's just I hope that what's shown like here, oops, not that guy. Here is like it just works for what's going on in the film, and I think what I want is to be taken from the story point of being like, okay, this is a believable scene, instead of just being like, oh, that's just Christian Bale, and it actually like takes me out of the immersion factor. I think that's my biggest worry with just the initial look that I have, or thoughts on the look that I have at least right now. But who knows? Like maybe in action, like when he gets the sword, maybe you actually do have that like effect of like the black something, the goo gunk.
Right. Maybe they're holding back on that surprise a little bit.
Yeah, possibly. But
because like I said, we don't see him against Thor or Jane Foster, so like
no,
we got a lot more from him obviously in the movie. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Who knows? Maybe Valkyrie won't even be interesting for him because she's not actually a god, right?
Ooh, burn.
He's like, I could kill you right now, but I'll leave you around. You got to find your queen, little lady.
Yeah. So Russell Crowe also seems like they're maybe playing up the calm. Yeah, this shot I guess as well. I don't know if you want to dig into.
I've seen
this
some
right
memes
now.
on that one.
A little
I was just gonna.
looking here.
I was
This is
just
what
gonna
our
say.
thumbnail is. Thumbnail shot.
Yeah, absolutely. He just looks so freaky and terrifying here, and like again, just that black goose is just so gross, and he doesn't.
I don't think
look
he
too
looks
clean.
like Bale as much in this one.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Looks.
Even with his nose.
Even with his nose, yeah.
Yeah. And I think like when I was talking like his first appearance, when he has this sort of look again, that's where it's like, okay, I'm getting a lot more of Gore the God Butcher as opposed to just Christian Bale on screen. That's I just like I need some explanation of what that other scene was. It could just be too, he's like telling a story and then it just takes him back in time and then kind of what he looks like. It could very well be that. But yeah. That's right, all in the game. Paul Bettany was in Da Vinci Code. Look at that point. Oh, so good. And like this scene, I know it's CGI and everything, but like I can't really tell. Like I'm totally immersed in like the lighting and everything. It looks. Oh, I'm so excited for whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think like all like the big fights are going to be happening in this sort of black and white realm?
I could see it, man.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like it because even that handhold between Jane and Thor was in black and white right before that point. So they were obviously in that world
this
too.
last shot, and so what I said earlier was wrong. I guess you do technically see I mean, you still don't see them on screen at the same time, but that previous shot, Kirklin, if you go back like 2 seconds.
Oh, sorry.
Like definitely is like them in the same room together. So
Yeah, this one.
But I mean, you don't see them technically in the same
Go
shot.
go back a couple more seconds. That one.
Right there. Oh, the pinky hold.
Ooh.
Ooh,
See, like that's definitely
I'm very aroused.
Thor and Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're
Ooh,
right.
Valkyrie left on the sideline.
And it's black and white, so it's in that universe.
Right.
Mhm. Fun stuff.
Spub said he looks very alien-like in that final black and white
Yeah.
shot. Yeah, definitely agree. So this,
Oh, I hadn't really noticed this room. That's the Watcher back
Yes.
there, hey?
yeah, exactly. So this is the Watcher.
Red Skull, I guess, on the left?
They're
Maybe?
fucking Skeletor, someone. I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat will say who all these people were, because Trev's definitely told me who these people were, and I really didn't know who they were. So it
The
just
guy
it
in the
didn't,
middle
like,
on the left kind of looks like the Burger King, whatever his name is.
the
The guy on the
Sneak
right kind of looks like Vin
Sneaky.
Diesel.
King. Who this?
No, in the middle.
That's
This
the
guy?
Watcher.
This is definitely
Um,
the Watcher. I'm not giving you the Vin Diesel on there. Come on now.
The Vin Diesel in this universe looks like a tree, don't you know that?
Oh yeah, that's true.
You didn't
I
say
was
much
thinking the
either.
middle on the left kind of could be Zeus.
Yeah,
I don't know,
I can see it.
This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Burger King guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Travis might have linked in the Discord, but again, like the names didn't hit me well, so like I didn't really, whatever.
Made you feel sick.
Oh, Darius in the chat said near the start. Okay, thank you. Let me get
Going
here.
back to the archives.
Oh, there you go, guys. Catch Lady Death, which would be, I don't know. Would that be the Skeletor, or would that be the
No, I think it's the
attractive lady
others.
in the back?
Oh yeah, maybe.
One of them.
Just keep
Lady
reading the
Death.
names. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so we have Lady Death, Uatu. There you go, Jessica. Who's that one?
Vin Diesel.
That sounds like a
That's
survivor
right. That is the
tribe.
Watcher.
Yeah.
You got Eternity, who I don't know, and the Living Tribunal in that area where Jane's powering up at the end. So there you go. And
Nice.
Skeleton. That's
Okay,
that's
not
just like
Red
an
Skull.
office nerd name. He's
Wait, did you not say
Skeleton.
the Watcher? That's definitely the Watcher. isn't it?
Uatu is like his name.
Oh,
his
okay,
actual
okay.
name. Yeah.
I see.
I hope I said that
So-
right.
The second Ua.
Oh, and
Death
Eternal.
is the skeleton. Is that what the?
No, Lady
Yeah.
Death.
Lady
right?
Death. Lady Death.
I
Don't
guess
talk
it-
about death.
She's just
That's
a
her-
lady
that's
with
her
a
dad.
skeleton
Could be
head.
skeleton.
She's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lady with a skeleton head.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just seeing like two of these other ones kind of look like ladies to me, so I was expecting one of them, but I could. be
I'm
wrong.
trusting S-Bubs over you guys right now.
Absolutely
S-Bubs
should,
is
because
definitely
I
more
I
reliable
don't know
source.
anyone here other than Jane and the Watcher. So I mean I'm excited to find out more about these individuals and why they have giant golden statues like along the Watcher, just for like the scale of like power that the Watcher has. Clearly
Right.
these people are on that echelon if they are in the same like Mount Rushmore type setting. So I'm very intrigued in just getting
Creepy
more info
cave
on
around Mount Rushmore.
them. yeah. This is the sinister
The
Mount
Mines
Rushmore.
of Moria.
Yeah, essentially. Awesome logo. Love the font.
Yeah, and then the kind of classic last-minute comedy shot.
Oh yeah. There's Russell Crowe.
So
Oh.
like, are we getting vibes of them just kind of repeating? What's the name of the Grandmaster? I always forget the actor's name for some reason.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, are we getting kind of same vibes from like he's kind of this person in a point of power, but like just kind of has this cheeky comedy like presence in the movie.
He's definitely
Are
pushing.
they
out
doing the same
that-
thing? Is Taika hitting that same drum again?
He's definitely putting out those vibes for sure. I don't think you're far off the mark there. I think the difference between those two characters is I think we're gonna see Zeus get absolutely fucked up in this movie. I think he's definitely gonna die.
He is a god, right?
Yeah,
target.
and you know who Gore's after, and he
Yeah.
doesn't look like he's taking prisoners.
He's hungry.
So
If
Grandmaster
anything, that'll
lived?
be the motivation, right? Zeus dying will be what finally gets Thor's attention.
Something like
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if he's messing around with Jane, maybe that'll get his attention. He's pretty interested in her. But
I'm gonna do a call back in the chat quite a while ago, but
Absolutely.
Hansi asked if we think we'll see Hemsworth's butt, and I definitely think 100% in theaters this is not going to be blurred out.
yeah,
that. Really?
yeah.
Interesting.
Do we get a front shot of the blur? Don't
Have we
think so,
ever
eh?
seen a naked ass in the MCU?
I know we have in Halo. Yo, go check out that review.
Yeah, we have a lot. There's a lot of butts in Halo. Have we though in the
We get no
MCU?
front shot.
Serious question, S-Bubs in
Um,
the chat. What's the answer to that?
I mean, we've
Like
seen
maybe like
America's
Hulk
ass,
or
but
something.
obviously that wasn't. Yeah, I feel like we have seen a green Hulk butt.
If
But have
they
we
could
ever seen a
show
non-CGI
Hulk's
butt?
uncensored butt in Ragnarok,
go.
then they can show Thor's.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's all the information you need there. So
But
yeah,
that's
Summer
a
Hansen-
CG. That's a CGI butt. Now maybe they CGI Hemsworth's butt, but I think you don't want to do that. You want to show the real thing.
You do want to show the real thing. That's what's putting people in their seats. I think you actually do see the real McCoy right there.
Interesting.
Personally, I don't know. Dylan, do you think they're gonna keep it blue?
I'm gonna go with no. I'll be the contrarian
Yeah.
here. I'll say don't.
It
I don't
doesn't
know,
even
if they just
necessarily
censored
have
in
to
the
be-
actual movie. That would be kind of weird, but
It doesn't have to be like a fourth wall break. It could be just because they're in like Mount Olympus. The gods can just like censor things, you know. Like it could be a reasoning like
literally
that.
Deadpool could pop up and like put his face there and be like, nope, can't see that. That'd be kind of fun. This planet also 3 suns. I'm into that from the astronomy point of view. That's cool.
Oh, this is a gorgeous shot. I like this could
Pretty
easily
dark
just
for
be.
a planet with 3 suns, but I'll take it.
It's very very far away. It could be another planet. Who knows? It doesn't have to be another sun
It's a
necessarily.
pretty bright planet.
Well, it's like I'm
Don't look at it
thinking
too
like
long.
Neptune, right? Like super blue. It's kind of got that vibes.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I mean, especially if this
Debunked.
star is just beaming off of it, it would be. It would just be absolutely. Yeah, but I don't know. My mind here went like if he's getting like a Disney Plus series, this is like the Disney Plus logo. You know, he runs and it's like chink, and then you get the plus
Oh,
mark
yeah.
down here. Because like Moon
Nice.
Knight had that. I don't know if you remember seeing that where like he
Right.
leaps and then yeah, that's definitely what I
Has
thought. when I saw this,
anyone memed a Mario block like above this yet? Because that's what I thought of.
Ooh,
It was
that's
just
good.
like,
I'm sure someone is right now after hearing you say
Or
that.
even like
That
his
is-
body kind of looks like a little quap like too. Like I could see someone putting him in the quap track and field thing.
the Thor Love and Thunder crossover with Quap. That's
Yeah.
what's happening. Yeah.
We've all been
Taylor,
waiting
get
for
on it.
Taylor, get on it. Yeah. you do that.
Quap Love
Nice
and
little
Thunder.
shot. It's a very like Star Wars like craft there, eh? Like you could definitely
Yeah,
believe.
definitely.
Oops, I fucked up the video.
No, you're
Can't
right.
even
though.
pause it now.
You're right.
But there you go. That's the trailer. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Spicy.
Let's see. I definitely was sleeping on this chat, so big thanks for Jessica pulling back things I missed right here. But
I haven't opened it yet, and I see 46 messages, so I'm not even gonna open.
You're
that
sleeping
can
more
of
on it than I
worms.
am. But S-Bub said right off the hop, he thought it was a good trailer. I think might like the teaser a little bit more, though. Lots of Ragnarok vibes, especially with Zeus and his Colosseum. There you go, Dylan. That's like very Grandmaster
Mhm.
similarities that you were comparing there.
Yeah.
But S-Bub said he loved Thor Ragnarok, so 2 thumbs up there. And absolutely, we've definitely said it before on the podcast, and I'll repeat it now, but it's like, I feel like it's the type of movie that if you don't like Thor Ragnarok, you're probably not going to like this movie. Even
Definitely
if you
not.
are interested in Gore, the God Butcher, like it still has that Taika stamp on it, so it's definitely going to be similar vibes. And like even just like the font of Thor Love and Thunder, like it just has that very same aesthetic that Ragnarok had. So it's definitely, I think, just leading in that direction, which,
Mhm.
I mean, speaking for myself, I absolutely love that movie. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. Any final thoughts on the trailer?
It was pretty thorough. I've
We'll be
covered it all.
we'll be reviewing that. Obviously, that is coming out. Oh my gosh, I don't have a date in front of me here. Sometime this year.
July 8th.
July 8th. Thank you very much. Saved me there. But yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder. We are going to maybe throw to a quick ad break here, and then we're going to be jumping into some other movie trailers. And very excited to break these down. So we will be right back. And we're back. So, ladies and gentlemen, which movie trailer do you want to start with? Any particular, or do you want me to just take it away?
Well, I feel like there's a natural segue from this to Gray Man. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Some connections.
Christian Bale, that shot that we saw, it's like actually him from The Gray Man.
That's
It's just
actually
like
not
a
what I
good
meant. I was
crossover.
talking about the
That's
Russo
where mine
brothers,
went.
but that works too.
That's where my mind went. 100% is Christian Bale.
And Chris Evans. There's a lot of connections. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, you're very true there. No, Christian Bale is not in The Gray Man, but yeah, let's start with that one. Gray Man. This is a Netflix movie coming out July 22nd in Netflix, and then it's actually getting a theatrical release on July 15th, which we're seeing a couple of those. You know, as time goes on, we're still in this weird hybrid COVID era, so I think we'll be seeing that. It's just, I think the first time I saw like a Netflix trailer in a movie theater, it kind of just, it was weird Like, you know, I'm just so used to seeing that like the classic Netflix little tone, like when the symbol comes on. I'm like, I'm in my living room right now. It's like, oh no, I'm not in my living room right now. I'm in a theater. I'm with strangers. But so weird feeling there. But yeah, no, this is getting a theatrical release. This is got some familiar faces. Obviously, the Russo brothers are on this puppy. We got Chris Evans. We got Ryan Gosling. Very interesting mashup there. Dylan.
And Armis.
Anna de Armas. I
forget
missed
about
her out.
Anna de
I'm
Armas.
sorry. The biggest name on the list, Anna de Armas. But yeah, Dylan Muss. What do you think of this bad boy trailer? Bad boy.
I'm pretty excited for this because for the last few years, the Russo brothers did Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War. Did they do another MCU thing? I think it was just those three, right?
I think you're right there, but I'll double check.
But either way, they've been tied up with those for a while, and so I'm excited to see their next project. I'm sure they've had a lot of just creative ideas over the years while they've been tied up with the MCU and kind of let it all loose here. It's fun to see them teaming up with Chris Evans again. Obviously, I'm a big Anna de Armas stan, although I don't think she really does a whole lot of intrigue in this trailer, but still, she's great. And Ryan Gosling's good as well. But I'm excited to see Chris Evans in kind of a villainous role. I mean, I guess maybe I don't want to spoil this other movie where he does a similar villainous role. I won't spoil that one, but I think it's just a fun kind of mischievous role for him to play. I'm really excited. Like the one-liner he had in here of, if you want to make an omelet, you got to kill some people. Like that just.
I wrote that down as well because I did not want to miss that on the on this recap of the trailer.
So yeah, I honestly, other than that, I don't know if there's too much to break down. Like it just seems like there's one target, like multiple people are going after this one target, so it's going to be a hectic race to get them. And I don't know, it just looks like a fun movie. So I'm definitely excited for this one. It's on my list now to watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, Jessica.
I think I'm in the kind of the opposite camp as you guys. I'm the one person who doesn't care so much. It kind of gave me, 007 vibes. It's just a lot of kind of spy versus spy type, and that's not really my go-to. So this one for sure for me will not be a theater watch. I'll watch it for sure when it's on Netflix, just because I love the actors in it. Mm-hmm. But it's not enough to draw me to theaters. So yeah, I even felt, while I was watching it, there was just nothing exciting going on. I was just like, okay, so one guy has to kill another guy. Is there anything really more to this movie? I don't know. I wasn't drawn into it. So sorry. Be the disappointment on that one.
That's
a
okay.
little bit of a damper.
We don't want to all be on the same side. It makes it a boring conversation. But funny enough, I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle on this movie because I don't know what it is. Every time I had Chris Evans on screen, I like couldn't take him seriously as a villain. I think it's the mustache, like, and like no pun intended, but like I felt like he was just like a twirly mustache type villain where he's like ha ha ha. Like I was getting a lot of those type of vibes from him, and I feel like if I'm watching this movie, I'm getting like I won't be able to take him seriously, and I don't think necessarily like from what I get in the trailer, like he's supposed to be taken that way. Like yeah, the line, Dylan, you betcha. I wrote it down too. It's like if you want to make an omelet, you gotta kill some people. I'm just like, what? Like what the fuck? I've never heard that line before ever. I make omelets all the time. I don't have to kill people for that. Very, very weird. But and like even just some like one-on-one that he had with Ryan Gosling, it just I feel like I'm gonna be finding those scenes with him in it like funny when I shouldn't be, unfortunately, which is like I definitely think Chris Evans can play a really good villain. Like I definitely think he has the cojones to do it. Even like his character in Knives Out, like he's not like a clear villain, but he's just this asshole brat type character. But like I feel more like he's coming from that villainous side in that movie than I am already from this, where it's like clearly he is like the big bad in this trailer. So that was like a bit of a con for me, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is because I mentioned this last time we were talking about a Netflix movie. Is like if they ever look great, I just have an asterisk next to it because I was completely let down by Triple Frontier. Have you guys heard of that movie? Probably
I've
not.
Heard of that? No.
Super forgettable, insane cast in it. You had Pedro Pascal, Oscar Isaac. Oh my gosh. Ben Affleck in there. You had like crazy names, and it's just such a forgettable movie because it was so boring. It was so boring. The trailer looked really good. It just looked like an awesome action heist type movie, and it was just super super forgettable. And anytime I have these thoughts of like, oh, this Netflix movie is going to be like really, really interesting, I have to remember those moments of how let down I was
But
of
think
it.
of the
and-
directors. Don't you
true.
got some faith in them?
No, you are true there.
Not to
It's
call
just
it the director of Triple Frontier,
Triple
but
Frontier.
he's working on the Craven the Hunter movie, so
The
better
Triple
get
Frontier
ready
guy?
for that. He's the director for that.
Oh
apparently.
no, oh no.
But I don't recognize any of these other ones. So
But yeah, like, because what was shown, I did like for the most part, but I think I just have that thought in the back of my mind. It's just like, I feel like I might be let down by this movie. It might just be pretty forgettable, which, like, it shouldn't be. There's, yeah, like you said, Russo brothers. The action sequences look really good. Anna de Armas in there, like, she looked awesome. I'm really excited for this movie, I'm excited to see this movie for her. Absolutely. She's just kicking ass. She's really fun to watch, especially in that like spy type role. So yeah, I'm excited for her in it, but It's weird because I feel like a 1v1 scenario between Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling should get me really excited. But again, I don't know. I'll see it. Not super high expectations, which maybe I would expect them to be, up there.
yeah, I think those are all very fair takes. For me though, I do feel like it is intentionally silly or goofy. Like you were saying that maybe you were feeling that way, but you didn't feel like that was intentional. I feel like, like we obviously talked about that one line, but I feel like in general it is kind of quippy. I think the mustache is intentionally goofy.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's kind of all intentional. But I see where you guys come from because, like, honestly, when it comes to like the story of it, there's very little for me to break down. It's like, oh, I can't wait to see how this unfolds because it's really not that. I just
What's
think
the
it'll
memory
be
stick he's got? I gotta know.
I just think it'll be a fun ride.
Yeah.
But I see where you guys are coming from.
And like, if they lean into that camp, like I think there's some gold there, honestly, because as I was saying, like I'm already expecting to kind of laugh at this villain type character, and if it's written that way, then obviously they pulled it off, and like bravo to them. I can really appreciate it in that sense. S Bubs even said in there, I hope he's a really over the top villain. That'd be great. And yeah, I do agree with that because I'm already I'm liking what I'm seeing for like the wrong reasons, if that makes any sense. But maybe it's for the right reasons, if it's actually written there. But he said in the 90s or early 2000s he would have been the villain in a Nick Cage movie. Well, there you go, Face Off. He would have been the Face Off character with Nick Cage there. But yeah, so there you go. That was our first movie breakdown. I guess I should pull my notes here. So
Very, very quickly, do you guys think that Netflix doing the theaters and then on streaming, like, do you think that was a decision they made a while in advance, or is this like Netflix is losing subs like crazy and they need another revenue stream, so they're kind of pushing the theaters thing?
It's a good question, absolutely.
You'd think like when they signed to do this movie, there'd be like contracts in place. Like maybe it was a Russo brothers thing specifically because they're a big name in the box office the last few years, so maybe it's more of a one-off case just for this one.
Yeah, because like Red Notice, I think that was the one with The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds. That was another like big Netflix movie, but I don't think that actually had a theatrical release. Could be wrong there, but I don't think it did. So maybe it is that push because like technically it would be costing them to like just like distribute it in that form as opposed to just putting it up on their Netflix thing. So maybe it is like a business pivot there. I'm not too sure.
It could just follow with the whole COVID change that's really happened. I mean, HBO has theatrical releases and then coming on HBO as well. It's kind of become the normal since COVID.
Yeah, it's just like the opposite in the sense of Netflix, because like they would always do the streaming. Now it's like they're going to the theater route. I guess now that people are going back to the theater, it's kind of timing with that.
Well, they've become such a big player and they're making so many movies. It kind of makes sense. I would try. Maybe you'll get more money from that time in theaters, especially like you said, if they're cutting down on password sharing and trying to lock accounts so that way people have to either buy or watch it another way.
I also feel like, I don't even know if this is true or not, but I just feel like there's a certain appeal to a theater movie versus something that's just like on like video on demand, because people do want to just go out to a theater experience, like even if they don't know what's coming out. Like I remember growing up, like my family was like that. Like we didn't know what was coming out. We were just like, oh, let's just go to the movie, and then you'd go there and like see what's kind of playing in that sense, right? Like you're not planning okay, this date is when this movie's coming out, so that's when I'll see the theater. It's just
Yeah.
like Friday night, let's go randomly do that. And then if they see a Netflix type movie on there. S-Bubs mentioned they did the early theater release for Don't Look Up last December, which I can't think of one
That
earlier
was
than
probably
that.
for Oscars purposes, though, right? Or I guess has Oscars changed that where you don't
Um,
need to be in like cinemas anymore, or is that?
I don't know anything in regards to the Oscars, so I'm not the best person to ask.
Because isn't there like something that you gotta like display it in so many theaters in California or whatever it is? I don't know if that was the same over COVID, but
That's I think I remember hearing something like that. Just yeah.
so maybe that's the same case here. I don't know. But I
Possible.
also
Well, in
so
the
you said it was a
game-
week. You said it was a week, right? Like the 15th and the 22nd.
Yep.
So that's interesting because like I don't know if you're thinking about the cost of it for one person to go to the theater is around an equivalent cost for a month of Netflix. Think about like people watching on Netflix, you can still have some account sharing to a degree, or watch like, if you rent it, get the Netflix for a month, you can watch this with your whole family. Whereas at the theater, it's going to cost you 4 tickets. So
Right.
I don't know the cost there for some people. I wonder if they'll just be like, well, why wouldn't I just wait a week, whether I do or don't already have a Netflix subscription?
Mm-hmm.
But-
Yeah, I feel like it's just like an interesting concept for me to like really have an explanation on. It is because like there must be so many different factors on like that decision to actually push it to theaters or not. Like
Mhm.
I know there's definitely like contractual obligations to just like your talent. Like it could be in their contract that's like this movie has to be playing in theaters or something like that. Along the lines. I don't know everything that goes into like contract.
Well, I
things
could
like
see that
but
definitely being the case for Russo Brothers, who just released 2 of the biggest box office movies of all
Yeah.
time in their last 2 movies. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So earlier, I forgot to pull this back. You said 3 movies that they did in the MCU, or did you say 4?
well, yeah,
What's
I
your
mean,
final
Infinity
answer
War,
there,
Endgame,
Dylan
and
Musk?
Civil War. Was there a 4th one?
So we have Endgame, Winter Soldier. They did
Oh, they did Winter Soldier as well.
Yeah.
Okay, forgot
Infinity. Yeah, Civil
Yeah.
War. So
about that. Sweet. Okay.
can't give you full marks, but hey, that's a pass there, Mr. Dylan Musk.
I should have known that. I did watch that movie this year, but bad fan,
That's okay.
fake fan.
Fake fan. Yeah, that's what we are here. We're just fake fans, MCU
Sure.
shills. Yeah, no.
Something else to consider, a lot of the other players, when you're doing Wonder Woman and then doing a theatrical and stream release at the same time, I mean, that's a big movie that people are waiting for and want to see. They don't want to be spoiled, things like that. I mean, The Gray Man, I would have no idea what that is if it pops up on my newsfeed or my timelines.
It's
I'm
a
going
new
to be
Christian Bale movie. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know that this will necessarily play out for them that well on movies like this. I think it'll be more, Knives Out 2, things that people are looking forward to, and they don't want to have things spoiled where that's going to be the draw to theaters to
Yeah.
get that
That's
extra
fair.
week or 2 weeks early.
Yeah, I will point out too, all in the game in the chat mentioned the network's trying to recoup as much as $200 million that they spent on the movie. So I didn't even know that fact. So there you go. That could definitely be a good push for the theatrical release. But like also since it is just a week, I definitely do think it might just be that contract like situation, like Dylan, you mentioned, like since it's the Russo brothers, and if Netflix actually purchased like the movie. Then maybe that was already set in place like before that I don't know all the contract stuff how that works, but definitely possible.
Yeah.
All
and
in
then
the Game also said that they need to be in theaters in LA/New York for at least 2 weeks for Oscar consideration.
Right.
there you go.
So 1 week isn't enough for that.
So we
Not
gotta
that I
get
expect
our,
this to be an Oscar front runner by any means. But
no we're
With
gonna
that
make sure our
one-liner?
GV movie
But at least for
is
Don't
in,
Look Up and whatnot, like that makes sense.
and our GV movie it's gonna be in LA, New York.
Nice. Yeah.
At least 2
let's do it.
weeks, hopefully. Oscar conventions. Anything else in The Gray Man? I will say, funny enough, when I clicked on The Gray Man, like Jessica, I didn't know what the fuck this was, never heard of it. And it just says The Gray Man and like Ryan Gosling. And then in my mind, I'm like, this better not be some like really weird movie of like, he's half white, he's half black. And it's just like Ryan Gosling is this front runner. Again, that's where mine went. Luckily that wasn't the case, but I was worried. My first impression of just seeing that
That'd
like
be
thumbnail,
controversial.
Ryan, absolutely. That's why it's like this better not be what the fuck we're talking about here. But that wasn't the case. So that'll do a lot better than that. Yeah. Any last things? Going once, going twice.
move on.
Alrighty, we are moving on to our next one. 3,000 Years of Longing. This is very, very interesting trailer. Maybe I'll just take it away. First of all, like the director, Travis made a big deal of mentioning. It's like, oh, this is the director that did Mad Max. You know, shit on me all you want. I still haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, so I know it's a big shame. I think it was even last newscast I was getting flack for that. Oh, I think Jessica's on my side.
And you're like
there.
a
You haven't
Tom
seen Mad
Hardy
Max?
guy too.
I know. Charlize Theron too. Like I like it, the whole idea of it. I remember like pre-podcast days. I think it was like working at Target and probably, you crew was just like, you haven't seen Mad Max? Sounds like maybe Jessica wasn't in that category. You haven't seen Mad Max, have you? Okay.
No.
So very well regarded movie. Maybe
I
Phil
think
can
I just
speak more
got
to
like
that.
abused by Travis to watch it. Yeah, that's a bad word to use, but like I
It
feel like
was
Travis
borderline.
was just like, you
Abuses about a
gotta
lot
watch
of
this movie.
movies.
You gotta watch it.
It was borderline in the early days because you
It's
hadn't
good, though.
seen
It
like
is good.
anything. You hadn't seen like a lot of like mainstream movies. It was quite.
I have not seen
surprising.
the original Mad Max like 1 and 2.
Hey, I haven't either.
I'll fully admit that.
I never get flack for that though. I get flack for Fury Road, but not that one.
Even though it's the same director, like he came back and did it again.
Yeah. So yeah, that same director, very well regarded film, and he has a resume that's probably really impressive. But he is doing this movie, 3,000 Years of Longing. It's starring Idris Elba and I'm gonna hate myself for forgetting her
Tilda
name.
Swinton.
Tilda Swinton, like that.
I don't actually know if it's a T or a D in her last
Swinton.
name, but
It's a
one or the
T
other.
in it.
Yeah,
There we
T-O-N.
go.
the ancient one, Tilda. She very very fun pairing on screen. And this movie looks so fun and trippy and crazy and so many different things all at once. And I am so captivated and interested. I really want to see this movie. I think initially like the concept of just like having like a non-Aladdin genie like on film, it's like, has that ever been done before? Like I feel like Aladdin just ruined the whole genie. Like
It's probably been done a few times.
yeah, probably, but forgettable things. So I'm just super excited for that concept. I think again, like Fairly Odd Parents did it, obviously, way back in the day, but that was it's not
Iconic.
quite big screen. So I think that's really fun. And then this movie, this trailer just took it. It went on like an Alice in Wonderland trip. Like during the trailer, like it showed so much. There was a moment where I'm like, is this showing like too much? Like I feel like I'm seeing the fate of the genie here. But then it just like went in a whole nother direction. I think this is going to be like, I don't know if it's going to be the same caliber of like what Everything Everywhere All at Once was, but I think it's going to be one of those movies where while I'm watching it, I'm just going to be 100% engaged and totally interested. Just the performances, super, super excited. But yeah, your guys' initial thoughts on this? Almost call it Everything Everywhere All at Once. 3,000 Years of Longing.
Yeah, I'll go. I think this looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, like every frame in that montage part of the trailer is just this crazy world that I'm very excited to explore. So yeah, I think that the story for me is like very gripping, and then obviously like the effects are really good, and even just the editing of the editing of the trailer and like the sound design. Like I know it's not necessarily the case that the director and whatnot has too much of a hand in the editing of the trailer, but maybe he does. Either way, I feel like that's probably a reflection of what the movie's going to feel like in a way. Very snappy and whatnot. So I'm excited for that. And the story, like Tilda Swinton's character, I'm just excited. Like she just seems like this kind of this person who's going about their life without any sort of ambition, doesn't really do much, just living a very basic life, and just kind of has to get convinced of like using these wishes in a way. And so I'm really excited. And like they kind of show like towards the end of the trailer that she's ready to take the plunge, I guess, and make her first wish. This is my interpretation of what's going on. And I'm really excited to go on that journey with her and see, like, I don't know, is it that he just takes her through all these different wishes that he's done in the past, and like, here's what you could be doing, and like showing all these different versions, what other people have wished for in the past, and she can kind of pick and choose what she wants, or it'll probably be still something very simple that she'll pick in the end. But I don't know. I'm just excited to go on this journey. I think it's really fun, and like the chemistry between the two main leads is really good. Like I'm really excited for this. So yeah, this is like high on my list now too as well. Another fun summer movie.
Hell yeah. August 31st, tail end of summer.
Yeah, and I mean this does seem very different than Mad Max Fury Road, but that is a great movie. So obviously I'm excited for that. From the first movie he's done, I think, since Mad Max. So he's been, and that was in 2015, right? So 7 years of longing, you could say, for fans of George Miller, from like his last work to this one. So I wonder why that. Maybe he's been doing other stuff in the meantime. I don't know. But that is a long time for a director to take a break. So I'm sure he's coming back with some fervor.
He's been on a fury road of his own.
Hey, oh, nice.
Yeah, Jessica, thoughts on 3,000 Years of Longing? George Miller, big George Miller fan?
I had no idea who that was. Haven't seen Mad Max, so got not a lot to compare it to.
I'm in your camp. Don't worry about it.
But I mean, he's also done Happy Feet. If that.
Oh, big Happy Feet
know.
fan over here. So there you go. I know what to
Okay,
expect
there you go.
from this movie.
Same vibes.
Same vibes.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. So, first question: has this has obviously been released to critics because it's got like a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.8 on IMDb.
That's not the best.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I find that interesting because I am in the same
How
camp
many
as both
reviews?
of you.
I feel like it's a little early to have like a review out for this type of movie, you know? Unless they
Well-
were showing it like festivals or something, but I don't really know how the review thing would go there.
It's got a 67 on Rotten Tomatoes with 30 reviews, and it also
pretty
says on
good.
Rotten Tomatoes that it's rated R.
I get those vibes for sure.
So,
Yeah.
which makes it more interesting to me.
There's going to be dongs, I hope.
There's
on
definitely a
screen.
lot of sex in this movie, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely agree that as soon as this kind of started and, like you said, kind of turned into a fever dream of just things happening and trying to figure out what was going on. And I am here for it, 100%. And I know exactly the line Kirklin was talking about when he thought he knew. You know, she says, "I wish I never met you." And you're thinking, okay, well, that's a fate. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be midpoint in the movie, and then she's going to have to use like her other wishes to make things right.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're right.
but I mean, the two main actors are just phenomenal, right? It doesn't look like there's anyone else really of note in the cast, but I don't know how much other kind of minor parts are really going to be. It feels like it almost might change quickly enough that we're not going to learn much about other characters.
I could see that.
I also feel like even if I like fixate on like the part that I was talking about where it's like, okay, well, I know that eventually Genie's going to be in trouble and then he's just like going down that road. I feel like this is the type of movie, especially with just how much is going on like in the trailer alone. I'm just going to be, you know, strapped in for like just what's going on like in the moment while watching it, and then I'll like probably even forget about that till it happens. Like that was like me with Everything Everywhere All at Once. Go watch the movie if you haven't seen it. It is phenomenal. One of the best I've ever seen. But there's just like obviously had seen the trailers, but like while I was in the seat, like it was just taking me on such a wild ride that I didn't even really know like what was going to be happening, even though I had seen like a trailer of something that had happened. I get that sometimes with movies, but maybe it's just amnesia or something. Just completely forget what I saw. Like a previous cast with Jessica. Breaking down the Thor Love and Thunder teaser. But yeah, I will say too, like I absolutely just love the like aesthetic of what's been shown in this trailer, whether it's like the crazy like wallpaper. The poster is insane too. I'm not sure if you've seen that. It's just like the people like all around like the border. It looks crazy. And yeah, there's just very many different places that they take us in just the trailer alone. That just has me really excited. And yeah, this is definitely going to be a day one watch for me. Who knows? Maybe it'll be on a George Miller kick after this comes out. I'm like, I gotta go watch my Mad Max Fury Road. But yeah,
I do want to throw out that when I first watched this trailer, I thought she found a pipe, like for smoking weed, and that was
Yeah.
her. When she's like, "Oh, this looks like it's important
Definitely.
or has a story,"
yeah.
it's like, "Oh, she
Absolutely.
got a
whole
pipe."
new chapter of her
Woohoo.
life. Yeah. Absolutely. I again, like I like that it's not just the classic Aladdin lamp. Like it's taking its own version of the genie. Obviously 3 wishes there, but still, you know, like let's get more genies in modern media. Maybe not after this movie, because it might just be a copy of that. But it's been time. I'm excited to have Idris Elba as my genie too. I will say too, his ears really threw me off. I wasn't expecting him to have like a different look or anything. I feel like it would have been believable if it was just Idris Elba looking like Idris Elba. He could be wearing a suit, and I would still believe that he's a genie. But they made the decision of giving him these like crazy elf ears. Any thoughts on those, or it's just like, yeah, that's what we're getting here.
They're fun. I like it.
Yeah, he's looking mystical.
I mean, they're trying to show him being different without making him blue, I guess, right?
Yeah, fair enough. They didn't want to copy that trope.
Do you think there's going to be a love thing going on between the two of them?
Oh, definitely.
That's going to be a main piece of this.
Yeah, even if it's like not a physical, like they're boning on screen or something, I think like definitely by the end of it, like they'll really be loving for each other. Which I mean, I love that montage of when, I don't know if he has a name, just Genie. Yeah, his name's just Genie. Like it's just showing like what the weight of the decision like kind of has, and then you're seeing like the different versions of the people that have asked for those wishes. Like you get like a quick montage of that. I think obviously this relationship is going to be something special, which is obviously a copy from Aladdin. So maybe they found their perfect pairing there. But yeah, it says it's a romance movie, and I feel like with our two main leads, there'll definitely be a romance.
Feels that
in
way.
a bit. Yeah.
The last thing I was gonna throw in there is that Mad Max Fury Road was kind of praised a lot for how much it used practical effects, and I think there is CGI in there to some extent, but there was a lot of work done to kind of avoid that. So it's interesting to me that the director is kind of taking a 180 here, and a lot of CGI craziness going on in this movie. So I wonder if Mad Max was for him more of an not an ethical thing, but like, you know, thinking back to the original vision of the original Mad Max that was like in the 80s, right? And wanting to kind of stick to that and keep it more authentic in that way. Whereas now he's down to kind of just get crazy with it and embrace the computer generated world that we live in. So that'll be interesting to see. I mean, all the stuff looks good in the trailer, but obviously you're not really going to show the parts that look like shit. So I don't know how much to dig into that. I mean, they do it sometimes. A lot of people critiquing She-Hulk and her look, but you know, that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
So something interesting to consider is the budget for this is $60 million compared to The Gray Man, which was $200 million.
Yeah, that's wild.
Whoa.
And this is, I would think, have a lot more CGI. So maybe The Gray Man just has tons of cars being blown up, spending all their money on cars.
And the cast, Anna de Armas, like it's a bigger.
Ryan
bigger
Gosling's
cast.
probably pretty costly guy to
Pretty
get.
costly,
think,
yeah.
you know?
And Christian Bale in there at some point as the Gray Man. Yeah, he's pretty expensive. But anything else in 3,000 Years of Longing like that you wanted to shout out specifically in the trailer? There was like some like Doctor Strange moments, I swear, with like some of the visuals when they're like going through these like weird, I don't even know how to describe them, just like a corridor, but it's like you're going vertically down. Like it was trippy in that sense. I think it's going to be quite the psychedelic experience, which
looks like fun.
I'm always down for. Cool. All right, let's take our next ad break here, and then we will be talking about Elvis. So tune into that. We'll be right back. And we're back. Thanks for tuning in again. I don't know why I said we'll be tuning in for that, but that's what happens. So we get our Elvis trailer. Dylan and I were talking a bit off cast of just like I feel like every single thing that I go to see in a theater now, it actually has like an Elvis trailer going on. So, you know,
marketing budget off the charts.
Marketing budget, off the charts. And if you're like us, you know that this movie is coming out June 24th. This was, I think, the most extended trailer that we've gotten up until this point. But yeah, Dylan, what do you think of this particular Elvis trailer? Maybe I should ask you, like, what's your vibes with Elvis? Do you like his music, or do you like respect the symbol of what he was, and you're like, it's just not my time?
I think I probably like Elvis as much as the next millennial, which is like, yeah, he's good, but I don't know, not really someone I'm putting on my Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
I don't know. Elvis, obviously very influential individual, and I don't know, his like my parents' wedding song was like an Elvis song, so that's always been like a special thing on family or whatever. But I don't know, I don't really listen to his music much. To me, like watching, like I've said, I've seen this trailer like 100 times now, I feel like, and obviously this one we're talking about here is a second trailer, but I feel like this second trailer doesn't give me any new information whatsoever in terms of what to expect. I personally, I don't care at all for this movie. I think there is definitely an audience for it with maybe the older generation, people who grew up with Elvis being a relevant symbol. But for me, this is like the most boring, safe movie of all time. I think it's just like Oscar bait city with like Tom Hanks in there just doing this classic supporting like performance that's, is going to be an Oscar nominated guy. I don't know the name of the lead actor, but probably same thing for him. And I mean, Elvis's story ends in a very tragic way, so I think the ending is going to end like with his death/suicide, and like that's going to be a big emotional moment that it ends on. It's very uninteresting to me, not one that I will be seeing, but I'm sure my parents and my aunt, who's a big moviegoer, are going to be all over this, and they're going to love it, and they're going to be like, Dylan, oh, this is the best movie I've ever seen. You got to see it. But I don't think it's going to move the needle for me personally.
No, you don't want to go to theater and watch a 2-hour and 40-minute film. That's the runtime.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my
2:40. Austin Butler, by the way,
Wow.
as All in the Game pointed out, that's the lead actor in that movie. But yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't believe that when I saw the runtime. It's like,
That's long.
okay, it's gonna be a journey of his life, and we're really gonna.
You're going to get the whole discography from back to. From
Yeah.
there.
Maybe I'll just go as I'm talking here, but I don't know. I don't really have much like nostalgia or like affiliation with Elvis. Like even my parents, I feel like that was like before. Like I have younger parents, so I feel like that was just like before their time, really. Elvis, like maybe their parents are really into that stuff. But yeah, like I think, because what year did he die? Do you know, like late 70s or something like that? Like my parents were born in like mid 70s, so I think that was a little bit before their time.
You got to watch the movie to find out, Kirklin.
I guess so. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely agree with you, Dylan.
1977 is the
1977.
year.
There you go. Late 70s. That was a good guess. I feel like I also was just looking at it like a couple of minutes ago, so it was still fresh in my mind. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely agree with you that I thought that this was going to be a type of movie that's just like a good, like critical like endeavor. Like yeah, they're going for those Oscar type things, but I think like also like. What was I gonna say there? I was trying to remember. I think it's S Bubs. He had a Patreon question of basically having.
Do we think that this will be a
Yes.
biopic?
Was that S
will be
Bubs? I didn't
successful?
want to miscredit the person.
He didn't say who it was from. He just said question.
Okay.
Travis
so,
just said
S
it was a
Bubs,
question.
thank you for that wonderful question. I'm just gonna deem it yours. But yeah, go join our Patreon if you want to ask our questions for our cast like he did. But
Or we'll credit you.
We'll credit you correctly. But yeah, so like, could an Elvis type movie like work in today's just climate of films? Like it obviously, like as I was just saying, like even my parents, like I feel like they're a little too young to like actually be growing up in that Elvis realm. I definitely think it does have a place, like purely for the thing, or for the point that like Elvis, like everybody knows who Elvis is. Like even if I don't listen, like I've heard some of his songs for sure. But like just Las Vegas, like you see those like Elvis impersonators, and like that whole idea of what Elvis is, like, I'm not gonna embarrass myself and do like a Elvis accent, but I feel like that's just so iconic that like everybody kind of could just tell what that is. So like, yeah, the name alone, like even millennials and younger generations, like they still know who that is. So it's not like it's, I don't know, some random person from like the 30s that I obviously have never heard of. Like they're doing like a biopic type documentary. No, not documentary. Biopic. That's the great genre of that film, right?
Biopic, I think, is how you want to pronounce it.
Biopic.
But same difference.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've said it wrong my whole life, and now I can't change it. Yeah. But like I definitely think that has a place. Like just look at like Bohemian Rhapsody and like those types
Rocket
of films. Rocket Man, thank you. Yeah, the Elton John one. Like yeah, like it's on suit with that. But like I would even possibly argue that Elvis is just. It might not even be that hard of an argument, but like I would say he's more iconic than those types of characters. So I'm not surprised that this is coming out. It's just, for me personally, yeah, the interest isn't quite there. I don't think I would really want to sit at a 2-hour and 40-minute film about Elvis. But who knows? Like it could be an awesome, wild journey, right? Like I don't really know his story. Maybe if I want to find that out, I'll go see this. And I know Travis showed a lot of interest. I think he might be more of a what is it? Baz Luhrmann or something. It's like he's the director and writer and everything of all this. So I think Travis said he was a fan of him. But again, I don't want to put words in Travis' mouth. Maybe he didn't say that.
I got no beef with Elvis. I just think the movie looks so boring. Like,
Yeah.
just not
So
into
it's
it.
more of like not interested, or like, it's not like you're not interested in Elvis. It's just like what you've seen so far. The trailer. It's like, it's not scratching me. It's not getting me
Yeah.
in there. Well, see you later,
Jessica
Jessica.
hates it. She's out of here.
Yeah, she does hate it. She was the next person I was going to go to, so maybe I should have went to her first. So that's all, folks. No, I'm kidding. So she'll hopefully be back and give her some thoughts on Elvis.
I guess to give my thoughts on the topic question, like I think
yeah,
this is
sorry.
I think this is like gonna do really well. I think at the very like I said, this will be a big Oscar thing. I think you'll see it there, and so people are gonna want to watch it because of that. But I think it also just will get a lot more people in the door than something like a Rocket Man. I don't even know how that one did. Like, so whatever that did, I think this will
Right.
just crush that in terms of numbers. And the Queen one seemed like a little more controversial, I guess, just because of the kind of revisionist history, and they changed some stuff to kind of fit a more movie narrative, and then like the band wanted input in some weird ways and stuff like that. So it's a bit maybe messier, whereas this one just has the runway lined up. We can get Jessica back in there.
Sorry, yeah, I almost forgot to add her back in. I'm not used to just being this person that has to add people to the group.
But
It's
yeah,
freaky.
I think this movie has all the potential to do super well, and both financially, critically, and at like the Oscars, Academy Awards for what it's worth. Just won't be me in the theaters cheering it on, I don't think.
Yeah, Jessica, you're back on perfect timing. What are your thoughts on this Elvis trailer?
So I probably missed a little bit, but one of the other ones that just did really critically well, if it wasn't mentioned, was the Queen one.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
that's what Dylan was just talking about.
Yeah,
We have a review
so
for that,
I feel
think, on the channel, maybe. God,
I feel
did we?
like
sure.
we're kind of moving
I think I'll
backwards.
look.
Like Queen was definitely like I grew up listening to Queen, and there
Mhm.
was Rocket Man, and I heard one or two songs, but didn't listen to it so much. And then Elvis, I've never had a point where I'm like, I'm gonna put on an Elvis song. Or my mom, it's same as Kirklin. My mom was born in the 70s, so this was kind of before her time.
Mhm.
So I get it that he's a big.
I was on the review for Bohemian Rhapsody and just completely forgot that existed.
That's
but
funny.
We
Yeah.
did do a review for that one. Sorry, I had to put that in there.
No, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. I enjoyed it. I didn't pay to see it in theaters. I streamed it whenever it came on Netflix.
Mhm.
But, even when I first watched this was the first time I've seen this trailer. Does he even look like Elvis? I feel like he doesn't.
I feel like maybe
think
the
he
younger.
does, for
I think
sure.
like the younger Elvis of early again before my time. I've just seen like black and white footage of him. I feel, but yeah, I think yes.
Maybe the jaw's not quite as defined, but I think like they got the look down pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
That-
Great hair.
I mean, I know absolutely nothing about him. So for me, it does generate some interest because it's like, oh, it looks like he's definitely got some kind of, huge drug problem, fame and everything. But it's still, I don't want to go sit in a theater for 3 hours to watch this about a singer that I know nothing about. So it's
Look
definitely
for a babysitter to go out and
Yeah,
for 3
no.
hours to watch Elvis. No.
no. So I'll probably watch this when it hits Netflix. But I just think that this movie is too niche to the older generations to be successful
Yeah.
right now. At least I do think it'll do really well at Oscars, like Kirklin was pointing out. It's going to be, really flashy lights and great cinematography. Did
Yeah, I
you
was
point
just
that
giving
out,
credit.
though?
I was giving credit to Dylan. I feel like he said that first, but I'll take it. Hey, I'll take it.
I'll just
It
let
was
my
said.
internet
It was said.
cut out.
Yeah.
Keep going with your thoughts.
Exactly.
But I don't necessarily know that it's going to be a huge theatrical phenomenon because it is mostly younger people going to theaters right now, and I don't think this is going to hit.
Is that a true stat? Like, what is the average?
I don't know.
Demographic of moviegoers. Here, there, everywhere. I don't know. I feel like when I go to a movie, there's sometimes you know.
Yeah,
fa-
I mean
a
it's
full
probably not like
family.
60-year-olds, right? But
I've seen quite a
it's,
few, honestly. Like especially lately, I feel like I've been kind of surprised where I'll be going to see.
I just think about my parents specifically, and they go to like one movie a year in theaters, and like
Yeah.
this is the movie they go to this year.
My
It's,
parents are like that too.
like,
Yeah, my
easily,
parents.
easy choice for them.
So this one was for 2017, so a little outdated, but out of 264 million moviegoers, 63 million of them were between 25 and 39. And then the age that this is probably going to hit is only like 31 million, so half. That's for
Yeah.
50
Whoa.
to 59.
It's interesting with these music biopic. I'm gonna keep saying that. Biopic.
It's like biography,
well-
like a disc biography, discography.
Biopic. Oh, it sounds weird because it's
You
just.
can,
I know
mean,
it's
it
right.
works. Like the
I know it's
letters are
right.
in the right order.
Yeah.
It just sounds like weird.
At least I'm getting that down. But All in the Game brought up like a stark contrast where you had Bohemian Rhapsody did a ridiculous near $1 billion, $911 million. That was easy for me to say. $911 million, and then for Rocketman, a measly $195 million, which is less than what the budget was for this Gray Man movie starring Christian Bale. Not actually Christian Bale, but still, I'm gonna keep that
Right.
meme going. So like again, like for box office for this movie, I feel like I don't know who this guy is, but Baz Luhrmann or something. I feel like he has that like big star factor in some way. Not for me, obviously, but I think. I don't know, like, I guess I could ask the question, like, where do you guys think it's going to line in just, like, that spectrum of what I just laid out, how you have Bohemian Rhapsody close to $1 billion, Rocket Man not even hitting 200. Like, do you think it's going to be more Rocket Man, more in the middle, more Bohemian?
Yeah, I don't
Jessica
think it's
or Dylan?
going to hit the Rocket, or it's not going to hit
No.
the Bohemian Rhapsody level, but I could see it cracking like 2 to 3 million maybe.
2 to 3 million, that's
2
it.
to 3 million.
Sorry, 200. 300.
Moulin Rouge, Baz Luhrmann did, thank you. All in the
2 to
game.
3 million would be pretty sad, wouldn't it?
Another movie I haven't seen, Moulin Rouge. I know it's
Oh,
like
that-
critically well seen.
Yeah, that's who directed this one.
Yeah.
That's
There you
interesting.
go. Jessica's going. She's going now. 3 hours
not
in the
likely.
theater. Not enough? Okay. Moulin
Still
Rouge?
not worth
No?
the babysitter. But do you either of you remember how Rocketman was released? Was it theatrical release for a limited time and then streaming?
I think
I
it was
remember-
theatrical.
Was it?
I think so.
I
yeah.
I feel like I'm confident in that regard that he was.
Wasn't that pre-COVID?
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely
was
was.
Rocketman pre-COVID?
That's why I think it's theatrical. Otherwise, that's just fucking slap in the face. No wonder it didn't do 200 million. Straight to DVD.
It was 2019, so
yeah.
just barely.
Just barely. I will say,
Okay.
too, since I pull this up, just looking at Baz Luhrmann's discovery. He also did Great Gatsby, a writer for that. So that's absolutely love that movie. So there you go. Not enough to get me in, like Jessica. Not enough for me to get a babysitter for the babies I don't need to babysit.
For
Other
your
than my
dog.
pooch, I guess, yeah.
I'll babysit your
Um,
dog.
I don't want to go see this movie, though. So, yeah.
We'll leave it to Travis and Taylor to review this one.
I know I know Travis is definitely going to be seeing this. Just for
I feel
the
like
fact that
Emily would
it's-
like this.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You don't know what? No.
But she
I'm
likes.
curious if
Why.
she's a big Elvis gal.
Well, she likes the older generational stuff, doesn't she? Marilyn Monroe and stuff like that.
Possibly. I don't know. That's our next segment, just making assumptions. On, on
I
Emily.
like assumptions. Let's do it.
Me too. You can never be wrong, really.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say on Elvis. I don't plan on seeing it. The runtime is way too long. I know nothing about him.
Yeah.
It'll
Sorry,
be
Elvis fans.
successful
We don't
criticism.
got
Sorry,
you
Elvis
covered today.
fans. Yeah, I have nothing else to add on Elvis as well. So let's move on to our little shoehorned in. Actually, let's take a quick ad break, the final ad break, I'd say, and then we'll talk about our last trailer that I added in for the fun of it. So we will be right back. And we were back. So I added this movie in basically a minute before we were going, or not movie, this TV trailer in basically a minute before we went live. Just did you watch this trailer? Yes, you did. Hell yeah. So I'm really glad because I was like on the fence, like, oh, do we add it in there? Dylan kind of pushed me over the limit there to to solidify the fact that I wanted it in there, and I'm so glad he did. This is for Baymax. This is gonna be the Disney Plus original TV series. And this was announced. I forget when this was announced. It was when all those other like. It might have been a
this is
Disney
the second
Investor Day or
trailer, right?
something.
So it's been out there circling around for a bit, right?
Yeah, it definitely less than a year. I remember when it was initially like just announced that they're doing this TV series. I was over the moon pumped. I didn't care if it was going to be 2D animation or anything like that. Like I was just so pumped for the Baymax stories. I absolutely love Big Hero 6. I feel like at that point in time when the movie came out, I was just for some reason like really interested in like San Francisco and like Japan, you know, Tokyo, and their fake world that they made is San Fran Tokyo. Like, are you kidding me? Come on, that's like that's like the mix of my two favorite places. It's like, come on, take me to this take me to this fake real place. But so I love the movie. The humor completely hit for me, like 100% that movie. Like, as Dylan, we were basically watching the movie at the same time, and I don't know if you could tell, but I was like laughing out loud at parts in the trailer, and like this is just a trailer for a kids show, but 100% up my alley. I'm very, very impressed too. Like the animation looks like it's basically the same from the movie. I know a lot of times like you'll get those movies and then maybe it's like a Netflix like TV series adaptation, and it has that like clearly lower budget animation, and like I don't know, I see it as a little bit less, but this has like that same movie quality that Big Hero 6 had. And yeah, just Baymax being Baymax, you know, like the again, humor works for me, and just him saving people, like helping people out. I think it's awesome. I hope it goes on more than one season. I don't know if this is like a limited series or anything like that, but were you about to say something?
Oh, I'm just looking into how many episodes there is for this.
Oh, okay. But
because I'm curious, like how much like screen time of animation you're gonna get relative to the movie. Because I mean, if I'm guessing it's gonna be like 23-minute long episodes or 30-minute long, probably 20.
I think it'll be that. I don't think they'll be like hour-long episodes or anything.
So do you think they do like a 6-episode, 8-episode? I'm trying to see if they've announced that, but I can't find it quickly.
I could see them doing just 6. Okay, honestly.
It looks like 6, yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see them doing 6. Obviously my heart would want to be at least like a 9. I think that would be awesome. And it's the type of show, it's not like I'm expecting like, oh, if it's only 6, are they going to fit in all these plot points? Like I don't really need a plot points or anything like that. Like
it seems
I just
like a kind of slice of life sort of show. Each episode's him just going on some random adventure. What does he do that day?
No, exactly. What does he say?
So do you think there's going to be an overarching plot? Like, because I did not really get that vibe at all from this.
Yeah, because you have Hero, who is like the boy with those little gadgets. Do you remember Big Hero 6?
I've seen it once. It's like it is a foggy memory, but
foggy memory.
I can say that I have seen that one.
Yeah, so he's like
I think Briggs was also a big fan of that one, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And he was kind of pitching me on it.
As he should be. It's a great film.
Or maybe it was you that pitched me on it years ago.
It was probably me.
And this was like, we've been doing this for so long.
It's coming full circle.
We've been going in circles. Yeah.
That's what happens when you do a podcast this long.
That's true.
Hey, episode 481.
Forgot about a review I did for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Hey, I forgot about the newscast that we did less than a month ago. So can't really give you that much flack for that. But so yeah, you have Hero like kind of looking for Baymax, and I feel like that'll kind of be the overarching thing. But I don't think there's going to be like he saves this person and then they came back to save this person.
Yeah, not some big villain.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they could do that, especially if like what this is like it's a series that they've done like to have like a contained story, I would imagine. So maybe there is some plot points there, but I couldn't tell what just happened there. I just noticed I shifted, but yeah, okay. Thanks for
I just kicked Jessica in the meantime while she's away.
Perfect, but yeah, I didn't even ask you what your thoughts really for this trailer or for Big Hero 6. You mentioned you've only really seen it once. Foggy memory.
As you alluded to, like I don't really have any nostalgia for Big Hero 6, though I have seen the movie. And I remember liking it, but it's just never one that I've rewatched at any point. But yeah, I think that this show looks like a lot of fun. Like I think this is a easy watch, and it seems like something that you can just hop right into if you haven't seen the movie and still get enjoyment out of.
Yeah.
So I don't know if my girlfriend, I don't know if she's seen Big Hero 6, but I could see us just like putting this on when we're watching dinner or something like that, or watch the movie and then go into the show. But yeah, I'm all down for this kind of slice of life sort of thing without some big overarching story and just this fun adventures with these kind of goofy characters. And yeah, it's funny. I like the comedy of it, and it's just like good-hearted fun. Like even we were joking at the end of the trailers, like parents go to the streaming app on June 22nd. Like, I don't know, I forget what it said exactly, but it's definitely calling out parents as like, bring your kid to watch this one. And I think that's good. Like to have some fun stuff for like people of all ages can probably get some enjoyment out of this one. So
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like there's a moment too when Baymax has his line of like, you said this, so therefore like I'm gonna help you, and like it's like a montage of like you have like the teenage girls and like, oh no no no, you have the cat like freaking out, and it's just like it kind of like I feel like it kind of takes you through like the people that he's gonna be interacting with and like trying to help out. And again, like the comedy hit obviously because you just have Baymax like repeating these like super monotone way of like these lines that people are saying, but like yeah, like I think it was a good little mashup of being like, hey, this is what's at play, and also this is just the Baymax you know and love, and then coming June 29th. I wrote that down, so there you go. Jessica, I think, is back. Ready to talk about some Baymax? Head nod. Hell
Heck
yeah.
yeah, I am.
What is your experience with Big Hero 6?
I
just lead that
absolutely
into the
love
trailer.
Big Hero 6.
Hell
I-
yes, finally.
Absolutely amazing, top tier. It was in the same boat as you. Like San Fran Tokyo was just chef's
Yeah,
kiss.
chef's kiss, exactly.
And then even, kind of the side characters that they had, Lemon, like the science nerdy making all the different potions like on the go, and Fred, just, I don't know. Loved it.
Cass,
Amazing.
Fred, yeah, Alice. I had to pull up the list there because I didn't remember them all either. Even though I'm a big fan, big fake fan. It's already
big fake fan.
I got a few of them in there floating around.
No, you did. You did better than I did. I got Hero. I got the protagonist, and then Baymax.
Hidashi, his brother.
Yeah, I even forgot about him. But carry on. Save
I
me.
don't remember the
Carry on.
aunt's name. Maybe May.
Cass. I remember the memes.
Cass.
When people like someone like photoshopped like a cleavage shot of her, then people were like thinking that it was actually in the movie.
Beautiful.
Cass is in this. Yeah, forgot to mention her. Get her back.
So yeah, I think that it's gonna be pretty much exactly what you guys are talking about. No real overarching thing. It's just gonna be, maybe even each episode is, Baymax trying to help a different person in a different way. Or I don't know, maybe the cat's the overarching, tries to heal him through every episode, and I'm kind of wondering why it's not a movie if we're, it's 2 hours worth of showtime. What their reasoning was for making it into a series as opposed to just a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, you keep people on your service subscribed for
There you
2
go.
to 3 months.
That's the
maybe.
corporate answer there.
Then they have stuff they can say. We're releasing new content every week.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
because
the
like
corporate answer.
in terms of the maybe bigger properties, like when does Miss Marvel end, and then leading into She-Hulk, like there's kind of a drought there without another show. So that's like here you got weekly content 6 weeks in a row from a big property.
Yeah, I definitely and then just tacking on that, this is definitely going to be like a weekly release, I would imagine. And so,
It said that on the wiki page.
Oh,
If
there-
that's
there
a
you go.
reliable source. I'm not sure, but
well, Disney Plus is always like that too. They
Yeah,
just put 'em out
exactly.
week by week.
Are we doing midnight releases on that one? Midnight reviews?
I won't be personally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna commit to that. There's a chance I definitely might watch it like at midnight, but again, I'll probably want to watch this with Shay, but you can always watch it twice.
I honestly super excited. I don't really know that I can see any type of downside at this point. Maybe just we don't get enough kind of side characters, but even then Baymax and Hero are such, there's enough with them alone, and then his nanobots and his nanotech that you don't
Stark
really
tech.
need anyone else either.
Yeah, I honestly, when this show was pitched, I thought it was just gonna be Baymax. I didn't think we were gonna get Hero or like any side character in it. Like obviously, as mentioned, like Cass is in the trailer, and I would have been game. Like honestly, I absolutely love his humor. It makes me laugh out loud. So I would have been totally okay with that. But just having Hero and Cass and like hopefully more, because as Jessica was pointing out, like some of them are like really unique side characters. Like they're not just a filler type character to talk to our protagonist hero. Like they actually have their own thing going on. So that would be really cool if we get them, like some people that weren't shown in the trailer. But yeah, I would have been sold if it was just Baymax, really.
Nice.
Yeah. Any?
I don't know if I have much else to break down since I'm not so familiar with the IP,
Yeah.
but it looks great. I mean, it's fun. Gonna be
Absolutely. I forgot to add this on when Jessica, you were saying like, why not just do a movie over this? In my mind, I'm like, hopefully it's just easier for them to just keep putting out seasons. That's my optimistic way of looking at it, because I haven't even seen it yet, but I already just want more of this series. Like this is just gonna be really fun for me. The humor gimmick thing, it might run out eventually, but it definitely hasn't yet. So yeah, more Big Hero 6. That world is just so cool too.
I would like to say, I didn't say it because I was not 100% sure, but the cat's name is Mochi.
Nice.
And I'm super happy that I
That's a cute
actually
name.
remembered even the cat's name.
Was the cat in the movie? I feel like I even forgot about that.
In
Big
the,
fan.
like, Big Hero 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuzzy baby. Fuzzy baby. When he's, like, all out of battery.
Oh
and
no,
he's,
I
like,
gotta
petting the
rewatch this
cat.
movie now.
Oh,
No,
Kirk.
okay, yeah, you're right.
Wow,
I know.
even
I'm
remember
a fake
the
fan.
cat.
You're being outshined here.
You're outshining me. That's okay. I'll take the L. I'm a pretty good loser, unlike Travis Snell, like when I beat his ass in the sports title. But
Ooh.
I gotta pull this up too. This doesn't get brought up enough. Thanks for I think it was Taylor that built this one up for me. There you go. Perfect 2022 season, KD for Kirklin in the sports championship. I gotta just randomly pull that up. My little banner there, only for visual. But so audio
I like
listeners,
it.
I apologize. But it's basically just reminding everyone that I had a perfect 2022 season.
We'll see what happens
Beat
at
Travis's.
the Strikers Cup there, Kirk.
I was going to say, 22 is not over yet.
No, it says perfect 2022 season. The banner doesn't lie there, Jessica. So yeah, with that being said, I think that wraps up our newscast here. Thank you to both of you for joining me. This is, again, it's been a unique newscast, but it's been very, very fun, very eventful, and yeah, it's been fun breaking down some trailers with you guys. Any
Great
final
job
thoughts?
in the hosting chair there, Kirk.
Thank
Great,
you.
man.
I know I
We're
I
proud
had
of
to
you.
get like my little intern. No, not my intern. Shay. I had to get Shay to bring me some
little
wa- I didn't
intern?
want to
Oh,
call her like a
come on.
water, water
Water
boy,
boy?
water girl type role.
High
I want
quality
something a little bit
H2O.
better than that, but still, no, I was losing my voice at one point there. But
Nice.
so shouts out to her for keeping me hydrated, and yeah. So tune into next time. We definitely have just tons of content coming up. We got the roast of Taylor Field. We got, I forgot to even promote too. There's a big gauntlet event coming out on Friday. That's our team's title. Me and Saris versus Taylor and Travis. We're gonna be a repeat match, trying to get their belt from them. So that's gonna be lots of
Nice.
fun. That's gonna be dropping on Friday, I believe. So yeah,
Nice.
All right. See you later, folks. I'm just gonna end it here. So tune
Until
in
next time,
and we'll-
it will not be boring. Come on, you
Peace.
gotta do it. Bye.
That was good.